WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 78. In hour one of today's show, we'll talk the latest with the New Orleans Pelicans and some New Orleans Saints draft news. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in another day of OTB, Tuesday, April 24th, 2024. Man, ESPN already has started the NFL draft countdown clock, Jake. I think it's about 60 hours away now until you will know what the future of your favorite franchise will be, in some part at least, or you would hope to be. You would hope that you don't end up in a Penny-like situation where your first-round pick doesn't actually end up mattering to your team at all. But yeah, we're just a few hours away, so we'll talk some draft today. I have a little wide receiver hypothetical. I want to play with the New Orleans Saints. I want to get into New Orleans Pelicans as well as Christian Clark had a really nice piece in The Advocate breaking down some of these crunch time struggles they've been having. And then got an LSU baseball game going down tonight, some cool LSU gymnastics news. Matt Ryan officially retires for that. And
He's playing against the Thunder right now. What do you mean?
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with that. Funnily enough, Jake, do you want me to make you very angry here, like immediately as the show starts?
2 minutes in? Yeah, sure.
And by the way, if I sound weird, I feel weird. I don't know what's going on. I'm very lightheaded. I've been nauseous all morning, and my voice, now that I'm talking for the first time this morning, feels really bad. So I apologize. But Matt Ryan made $300 million in his career, which, for sure, right?
Yeah,
Big time quarterback, Hall of Famer. You know how much he made the last 2 years?
Oh, man.
$36.7 million. The entire reason he held off his retirement was because I think the Colts had to pay him another like $13 or $9 million this last year. So this man, how many games did he play last 2 years? Like 4?
Something,
5?
Yeah, very minimal.
I mean, look, I'm cool with that because I love an old seasoned warrior getting getting one over on the man. But damn, 36 milli out of 300. So a tenth, got a little bonus 10% for basically nothing at the end.
Yeah, and I can get behind that more than I can get behind like Chase Daniel making $45 million for playing 5 games.
Hey, legend of the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I can get behind that because like Matty Ice went out there for multiple years and was like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, led his team to a Super Bowl, lived up to the hype. He's a great human being as well. So like I can get behind that.
So now we play this game. Is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer?
Probably not. Probably like on the edge. If he would have finished 28-3, probably so.
Isn't that crazy? What
like
difference
not like first ballot or anything, but eventually he probably would have found his way in.
It's kind of crazy. You look back, Falcons had 3 losing seasons in a row when he was drafted 3rd overall. He started every game as a rookie.
Yeah, we're same class. Yeah, we're same draft class, and we played the Falcons that year.
Rookie of the year. He's 7th in NFL history in pass yards.
Yeah.
9th in touchdowns. Made 4 Pro Bowls, which isn't great. You kind of got to have more than that generally. But he did get MVP. Someone like Drew Brees, no MVP.
True. I forgot
MVP
about
in
the
2016.
MVP.
Yeah.
He actually might have a chance.
I think he's the ultimate fringe guy.
Yeah.
I mean, being top 10 in yards and touchdowns has to make it interesting. I'm with you. I think he would almost be a lock had they finished 28-3, but now I don't know.
Now, I mean, you throw the MVP in there. Yeah, he certainly would have. There's a lot of interesting guys kind of right there that they had success. They were stabilizing forces to their franchise for like a decade. Like Phillip Rivers falls into that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, PR's in the top 10 and yards and touchdowns and all that as well. got to an AFC Championship game, but was never able to win a Super Bowl, and those things are held against you at that position.
So we'll end up seeing, but some big news there. We got Nick Underhill, we got Hold the Mayo, and we got OTB mailbag coming up in hour 2 as well. Surely, Taylor, you have a Matt Ryan Hall of Fame take.
I think Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Now, not first ballot, but I mean, like I mentioned, this is a guy who's top 10 in the NFL in passing yards all time. He does have that MVP award. I mean, Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame. He never won a Super Bowl. Now, it's a little bit different because Dan was number 1 in those passing categories when he retired.
Well, and I'm sure if you looked at Dan's Pro Bowl numbers, I mean, the 4 Pro Bowls is probably what hurts Ryan the most.
Yeah, and at a period, for a period of time, Dan was
the
most
best in the
talented
game.
quarterback.
Yeah, like
in
everybody
the
knew
NFL.
it. Matt Ryan never
got there.
Never existed in that area necessarily, for sure. I mean, the Rivers comp is actually perfect.
Yeah.
Even though for some reason Rivers feels like more of a Hall of Famer. Or am I wrong?
No, he does, which is
better.
He
weird.
feels like one, but he never won MVP, right?
No.
Well, and he also didn't have the postseason success that Ryan. Like Ryan got to a Super Bowl, Rivers never did.
Yeah, it's odd. The world works in mysterious ways. Who knows? All right, well, let's shift gear to the Saints then. We are a couple of days away from the draft.
Shockingly enough, that you mentioned the countdown.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper has the Saints' biggest needs as outside linebacker, receiver, and edge rusher. Like, does he know this roster? Has he seen this roster? Does he know, currently right now?
That's kind of crazy to me.
That you and I have a chance to play tackle?
I mean, I figure that, when you become an institution like Mel Kiper, I mean, you have a team on these things. I mean, I'm sure he, draft guys are obsessed, and I'm sure he is still doing a lot of scouting. But, and granted, it's impossible to stay, directly on board of what all 32 teams need, right? It's like when somebody, gets mad at Stephen A. for naming, a bench player wrong or not knowing that this player plays here now. And I'm like, bro, you got the man talking about golf up there. You got the man talking about everything. So whatever, but that's shocking to me because I don't know that there's ever been a more obvious need in my decade of covering the Saints than clearly drafting a tackle first. And so I'm not. That's on Mel's team,
Or at least being on one of the top 3 needs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's on Mel or his team or somebody for not having that on there because I pretty much just. First time I've ever seen this where I pretty much just fully believe that it's a damn near guarantee that you are going to go tackle at 14. The conversation I wanted to have today was a hypothetical one. Let's say Ladd McConkey and Keon Coleman are available at 45. And I don't even know if the Saints go O-line wide receiver. How do we arrive here at thinking they would go O-line wide receiver? Is it just because the depth of the receiver class seems to represent so much value?
I think so. I think because you want to add one more receiver, there's great value in it. At 45, you can get somebody that in typical years would be a first rounder. If you get Keon Coleman or if you get Ladd McConkey or Ricky Pearsall, if you get one of those players at 45, you probably feel like you stole a player that would have gone 27 to 32, somewhere in that range. And so the value of it, you need to add one. And I think because of the depth of this class, you want to take advantage of it.
So let's say you go wide receiver 45 then, which would be exciting, certainly. But then I just love the kind of the physical disparity between Coleman and McConkey. Both, like you said, borderline first-round talents in their own right, but in Keon Coleman, you have someone who, not the most impressive 40 time of 4.61, but I don't really care.
I think it's highly impressive. Just want to put that out there. I think 4.61 is really the speed that you need to succeed. But
and what did you run again?
4.61.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that?
Yeah.
But Coleman's a giant, right? And he's great at contested catches, return kicks, actually surprisingly well, given that his speed is what it is. But when you look at where the Saints struggled at times last year, it took them a very long time to figure out the red zone. Keon Coleman feels like he could come in day one and become a huge red zone threat, as well as doing a lot of dirty work over the middle that, the Saints don't necessarily have that guy right now.
know what's funny in that conversation? Sorry to cut you off.
No, go.
But you mentioned his size, and I agree with you. And they need somebody in that mold because Olave and Shaheed are not that. Now A.T. Perry's got some of that, but
he's got some of that.
And A.T. Perry's a talented football player. We talked about him a ton when he got drafted. But we're talking about, I think, a different skill set, a different talent level than an A.T. Perry if you select somebody here at 45. But it's the Saints, right? So I don't think that anybody should be shocked by anything they do on draft night. If they went receiver at 14 and they thought maybe they could get a tackle later. Now, it's not something I think they're going to do, but if they did, then I think it would be in the Brian Thomas Jr. mold. And it's funny because if he got selected to the Saints, there would be a portion of the fan base that would be so excited because you got an LSU player in the first round, a playmaker, but also like there would be a portion of the fan base that would be screaming, what the hell, because you need a tackle. So that would be an interesting pick if you go bigger body receiver, red zone target, a guy that led the NCAA in touchdowns last year.
It would just feel so crazy in terms of needs. Like the receiver, you're doing the final piece to the puzzle. You're trying to draft the cornerstone at tackle.
Right.
And the upside of hitting on a tackle is massive in so many ways, not just the short term where like we know Derek Carr is not good at dealing with pressure. He can be okay if you keep him clean, which is always, I mean, whatever. That's kind of a ridiculous thing to say. It's the NFL. But point being, you need someone just to help in the immediately in that regard. And then, look, you saw the value of hitting on a Ryan Ramczyk or hitting on a Teron Armstead. Like, you're allowed to just not think about that position for years. And so, yeah, I mean, that would be crazy. I still think they got to go tackle. So let's say at 45, you have Ladd. Okay, you have Keon Coleman. And then you have Ladd McConkey.
Yeah. Completely
different body types, different skill sets. But, I mean, would they be asked to be doing kind of the same thing since McConkey's work would come over the middle a lot? I mean, does it feel like a red zone threat? But also with somebody like McConkey, it's impossible to ignore like a Hunter Renfrow comp, right? Where Derek Carr had so much success with him.
And there's no disrespect to Hunter Renfrow. He's a great player, had a run where he was one of the best slots in the game. Ladd McConkey is way more of an athlete than Hunter Renfrow is.
So what do you think would be the better choice for this
So it's
Saints
wild
team?
because I think Ladd McConkey's the better player, but I think Keon Coleman's
the better fit
for the Saints.
Yeah,
because you're looking for a receiver that is different. Like that's why we've talked about Leggett so much from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Now he doesn't have the height that Keon Coleman has, but he has a different skill set where he's going to be comped to Deebo Samuel. You're having a coordinator who just had a ton of success with a Deebo Samuel. So like that one makes sense to me as well.
Big,
I
strong.
don't know if he'll be there at 45
ass.
T, but if he's there at 39 and you've got all these 5th round picks, do you throw in 2 of those and a 3rd next year to maybe move up and select him? Maybe
I would hate to get. I don't mind the 5ths as much. I am like we kind of alluded to yesterday. I'm pretty much on a firm no future assets trade
I'm
right
with
now.
you. I'm right there with you, but it's the Saints.
Yeah,
you know what they
for
do,
sure,
and
for sure.
you know that wouldn't be as aggressive as moving from 14 to 5. If you're moving from 45 to 39, it's going to take some things, but you might here's a 5th and a 3rd in next year's draft.
Yeah. I just again, I'm not wholly opposed to moving up with some of those 5ths. A 3rd would be at the absolute limit of
I'm with
what
you.
I would find palatable.
I agree.
You cannot touch next year's 1st or 2nd round picks. But yeah, I get. Look, I do know this. If the Saints secretly in-house love Xavier Legette, then yeah, I mean they would absolutely do that, right? That's their kind of core draft belief. Though, as we discussed, the same way that they're having to change some of their cap management, I wonder if they're going to change some of their drafting philosophies as well, given that they seem to be thinking a bit more future-oriented. I do know this, as we were a couple of days away, that combination of tackle first, wide receiver second, 2 positions that have a ton of talent in this draft. I don't know how things are going to shake out. So this is, it's subject to change, but I'm falling more and more in love with that idea.
I am too, because it fits everything that you need. You feel like both positions are kind of in a unique situation this year with how much depth they have. Like we've seen positions have a lot of depth, but tackle and receiver this year, it's some of the all-timers, at least the last decade or whatever. I've been covering the draft for 7 years, and this is the most that I've seen at 2 given positions where I feel like at 45 you can get a starter at receiver, right? If you're talking about a tackle, and y'all have heard me say this name 1,000 times, it's a funny name to say, Roger Rosengarten from Washington. Like he's the 10th rated tackle in this draft, but I think he's a NFL starter. So it just kind of shows you like the depth of how much that those two positions. Now guard, guard's light. Center's even lighter. So it's not across the board on the offensive line, but at the tackle where you have a need, it is incredibly deep. So you can go 14, you can go 45 if they do it right. Now, we still know they want to probably add an edge rusher, so that might throw a wrench into it at 45 if there's somebody there that they like.
Remember, that's where and how interconnected this all is. Like, that's where the Chase Young pick makes you maybe feel a bit better about that in terms of, okay, well, we get this 1 year rental from Young, and again, this is assuming that he'll be healthy and recovered and everything, right? But that him and Granderson and whatever Cam has left, like, yeah, maybe that's enough for this year, and then next year we can go get a premier pass rusher if we, if we still really have that need. So they could do it. They definitely could, and you never know how these things are going to break out. What if there's an insane run on tackles? What if there's an insane run on another position that then changes the math, or some like super highly touted guy falls to you, like when Marshawn Lattimore did at 13. So anything can happen, but on paper, I really do like the tackle wide receiver combo. And I like Keon Coleman. He may not be my favorite overall. Like you said, I think there's so many options. You can't really go wrong, it feels. But he would present a nice final piece of the receiving core puzzle for this New Orleans Saints team. All right. When we get back, by the way, if you're watching on youtube.com/1045 ESPN, hit the like button, guys. And when we get back, let's talk some Pellies. As like I said, I thought Christian Clark had a really good piece today, exploring some of those crunch time woes and giving some numbers to it and kind of showing what you're going to have to overcome this series if you want to beat this Thunder. So hit the like button, keep it locked. Remember, if you're watching on television, we're now on Cox on Channel 19 WBTR. And I'll be back with more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You need windows, doors, or siding, you want Tommy's. And look, we're talking any wood or vinyl windows, any hardy plank or vinyl siding, any type of door. And hopefully you just got a nice tax return. That'd be awesome if you did. Why don't you reinvest it in your greatest asset, your home? And if you've been putting off that project, now's the time. Go to GEAUXTommys.com. And like I always tell you, make Tommy's one of your bids and let the crew prove to you why they're the correct choice for your job. It's GEAUXTommys.com.
Yeah, we can't encourage you enough to go to that website and check out a gallery of what they can do for you. I mean, any kind of window that you want, they've got you covered. Arch windows, whatever it might be. Upstairs, downstairs, anywhere in your home, they can help you out. They can help you if you're looking for a new front door. They can give you a front door that wows. I mean, they literally can do it all. Go to the website, check out that gallery today at gotommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
To a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We'll have Glenn West joining the show talking about the LSU Tigers, and then Sharif Ishak will stop by the show to talk New Orleans Saints and the NFL Draft. It's the Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
She's back in the
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change.
I remember downloading this song on Napster and then burning this and only this song on a CD because, in a pre-streaming world, you want to listen to a song, that was the only way. So I just had I guess at that point I just made my own, because they used to release records and
your own
single. They used to release
singles.
They used to do singles in record form, right?
Yeah.
Back then, I just made myself a little train single.
Yeah.
And then later I would see Train at Endymion Ball, and they were fantastic, but they did have to play a lot of covers, but they were still fantastic.
You're lying if you think this song isn't a good song.
Yeah, the song's awesome.
It's a great song.
It's awesome.
Oh my God. Hunt Palmer in the Bayou 4 chat with the most Hunt Palmer thing ever. Had tickets to see Matchbox 20 and Train in Shreveport. tells me he didn't go to this.
Well, look at the message underneath.
Oh, geez.
He then said,
he has a good excuse.
September 11th, 2001.
Wait.
Well, it didn't happen in Shreveport. It happened in New York.
But the president did come to
the president went to
after 9/11.
Wait,
there's
Air Force base.
There's a base and then there's some sort of presidential bunker or something.
Yeah, at the B-52 bombers.
Dang.
Not to brag.
Hunt, I'm pretty. You might be right, Hunt, but I thought it was Billy Joel and Elton John that were coming. But that could have been a couple days or next week.
One of those is cooler than the other. And that's no disrespect to Matchbox 20 and Train.
Wait, what's
because we had tickets to Elton John and Billy Joel.
Having tickets
Billy
to
Joel and Elton John.
Billy Joel and Elton John.
Yeah,
a little bit bigger of a show.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, either show I wouldn't mind going to, you know?
Matchbox 20 would be fun.
Daniel Blunt says, hey, T, you know Cody Worsham, right? Dude's living in LSU Media. Saw that on Facebook today. The dude was my principal's son in high school. Shout out, Cody. Hope your next spot is legit. Yeah, a huge congratulations to Cody Worsham. Announced yesterday that it was his last day at LSU. Cody, I don't think you can describe his job in just one fell swoop because it's a little bit of everything. It's creative vision and kind of the driving force behind all of the LSU digital content that you see nowadays and LSU Gold and stuff like The Climb, the documentary that we keep referencing for gymnastics that won all the awards. He's part strategic comms and PR. He's a bit of everything. And like when you see all those numbers about like oh, look, LSU football had more interactions than anybody in the country. LSU this. It's like a lot of that is based off of Cody. And so I wish him nothing but the best of luck at his next spot, wherever that may be. He is a supreme talent, but even beyond that, he's a better dad, husband, and he's a good friend. And he used to fill in on OTB back in the day when he was just writing for Tiger Rag before he got a real job and became such a high-power professional. He used to come hang out, and we'd make fun of him for looking like he was from a boy band, and it was quite a good time. So much love to the entire Worsham clan and whatever comes next.
Yeah, much love. We didn't even get a farewell hay fighting podcast, a podcast that him and I have done together for 4 years. Not even like a farewell, like this is going to be our last episode ever. So congrats, I guess.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill.
Yes, I don't.
Whoever's next in that role.
T-Bob, I'm not even trying to say this to be funny. I don't think you can feel that with one person.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel that too. He did always strike me as someone who just had a lot going on.
Yes,
24/7. But he again, he was great at his job, and he'll be great at his next stop as well. And that man is LSU through and through. So much love to Cody and best of luck in the future. Hey, remember, if you want to make the switch today, go to trashrangersllc.com. That's right. We're taking out the trash. Good riddance, Cody. No, I'm just kidding. But look, if you live in Livingston or St. Parish, you have a choice in who gets to handle your trash. Why not make the switch to Trash Rangers? Chances are a lot of your neighbors had. If you've seen those red cans popping up around the neighborhood, they're local. They're involved in the community. They text you the night before your cans go up. You go to trashsignup.com. It takes like 3 minutes, and you can see the days, number of cans, prices, all of that. But even if you're not in Livingston or Ascension, if you need roll-off dumpsters, 20, 30, 40 yards, I don't care how big, get in touch with Trash Rangers. They don't have to check in with any national guys that set prices. They can work with you and find you whatever works for you and your needs, okay? So go with the local guys, okay? They keep the trash and the profits right here in Louisiana. That's trashrangersllc.com. So, guys, remember how we talked about the Pelicans being awful in crunch time?
Yes. Mm-hmm. The only team in the NBA that didn't have a fourth quarter comeback.
Yes, okay. And so Christian Clark, who's the beat writer for The Advocate, does a really good job covering the Pelicans. He finally gave me some numbers here. So the Pelicans average, and look, a lot of times in the NBA, you'll do, from a offensive rating and points perspective, you'll do points per 100 possessions.
Right.
Because that's like basically a game. They average 101.5 points per 100 possessions. So right at like about 101.5. And this is in clutch minutes. Clutch is within 5 with 5 minutes or less remaining. And by the way, that 101.5 would be the second worst of any playoff team. On the other hand, the Thunder average 124 points per 100 possessions. So second best mark in the NBA and over 20 points better than you. And Jake, you should be very, very feel validated, because to your point from yesterday, a lot of the reason why the Thunder have their guy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has scored 112 points this season in clutch time, shooting 58%, 19 assists, and only 6 turnovers. And then you look at the Pelicans, and the final 5 minutes of the game 2 days ago, 3 of 11, 4 turnovers. And the shooting's one thing, but the turnovers are inexcusable. Yeah. You turned it over in those 5 minutes almost as many times as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did in an entire season. But yes, Jake, very clearly the Pelicans' lack of the guy is hurting them, especially when you compare it to the Thunder.
Yeah, you know exactly who's getting the ball when the Thunder had that situation, just like he got it the other night. For the Pelicans, you don't know who is going to actually take that shot. I think we were all wondering the other night who was going to get it. It ended up being CJ. He loses the ball and actually somehow, some way gets off a shot and a decent look at it.
Yeah, well, it's a great look, actually, out of nowhere.
It was chaotic. And that's an issue. It's an issue because you have, I think, multiple guys that should be able to take that shot, but I think you want to hone in on one guy that is going to be the guy. And I guess, like, even if Zion was healthy, if you need a three, it's not going to be Zion.
No.
Right? He's going to be the guy that's going to drive it. Like the other night, maybe if he's in that game, maybe he drives to the basket, tries to tie the game, go to overtime. And so, like, even if your most talented player was in there, he wouldn't be the guy every single time. Like for OKC, it's going to be SAG every single 3, 2, like whatever they need. And so they have got that guy, the killer instinct guy at the end of a game that you know is going to take the shot. If the Pelicans come into that same situation in game 2, it could be a completely different situation.
Well, and what sucks for the Pelicans is, like, you probably want CJ taking that shot. He's probably got the most clutch shots in his career of anyone. He's the 7th best three-point shooter in the NBA right now. Like, the move to get the shot off now after nearly losing it, but the move had salty vet written all over it. That pump to step through, like, he played the defender. And I mean, the only other guy I would say is Trey Murphy, but like we said, he's not empowered to be the guy yet. I would almost say F it just for this playoff series, just like really funnel everything to Trey, which maybe that's like just awful, stupid strategy. Like, I'm willing to concede that, right? Why would you do that here in the middle of the playoffs? But without Zion, it's like you kind of have nothing to lose in that regard. But so I don't know. It's like, it sucks because you probably do want CJ taking that shot and he just didn't hit it. What I think is abundantly clear, though, after seeing these numbers, Jake, I mean, you mentioned it being the reason you have no fourth quarter comebacks. I completely agree, but I kind of think it's the root of all evil, right? I think it's why you had to end up fighting to try to make the playoffs. Like, they have everything else figured out. They had a ton of dominant double-digit wins this year.
Yeah.
They're good on the road. They're obviously good at protecting fourth quarter leads this season when they had them. They just couldn't get it done in clutch time. I mean, to win 49 games without a fourth quarter comeback and to be as good as you were this year, but be as bad in this regard, like, it just shows you that you are so close to being complete. And what really sucks is it felt like maybe Zion was on the road to potentially becoming that guy, and now in this classic heartbreaking Pelican fashion, there's another big setback in that regard.
And again, we're not talking about double-digit comebacks in the fourth quarter. We're not talking about some crazy stat. We're talking about if you were down 1 going into the fourth quarter, you have 0 victories this year. And it's a great point by UT to lay it out. You had almost 50 wins.
Yeah.
And they all came in the first 3 quarters, basically. Like, that, to me,
that's crazy.
Is a wild stat. And it's been an issue. It feels like it's going to continue to be an issue, and I don't know what it is because you have players and skill sets that should be able to go out there. You mentioned CJ shooting 43% from beyond the arc. I mean, Herb shoots 42%.
Yeah.
I mean, Trey, we know what he is. He's right at 38%.
That's just because an awful beginning. Trey Murphy's still making up for the cold streak that defined the first 3 quarters of his season, unfortunately.
But you have plenty of candidates that should be able to go out there and take that shot, and you just don't feel right now good about any of them because they haven't done it. And for us to say that they can get it done, I think would be a false narrative because we have a whole season sample size, 82 games.
Yeah.
And now Sunday's game where they just haven't done it. And for whatever reason, really good players that have hit big shots in their career over the last 2 years don't feel like they can go out there and make the shot.
So I think, again, I think this is more of an off-season problem. But it's so funny how in basketball things kind of remain the same. This all goes back to, I'll never forget Will Wade talking about this philosophy in his opening press conference at LSU, where he's like, it was something like, look, 80% of games within 6 minutes or within 2 possessions, something along those lines, right? And it was basically like, so what we focus on is a 6-minute game. And during that 6-minute game, you have to get to the line, you have to knock down your free throws. You cannot turn the ball over. And you have to be super extra cognizant of crashing the boards. Now, the Pelicans didn't shoot many free throws, but they did fine in that regard. They did great rebounding, but obviously the turnovers there at the end were killer and inexcusable because you shouldn't be panicky, okay? You've been here. Like, relax a little bit. So, again, I wish I had some sort of flourish. I could be like, they could fix it for game 2, but no, I think you're just going to have to get a bit luckier, and those shots are going to have to fall, and fully solving this problem may lie in the offseason.
How about this stat, as we talked about it yesterday, because, well, the Pelicans are going to be the road team again, obviously. All 3 home teams All 3 dubs. Again.
Oh, again yesterday?
Again yesterday. You had the Cavs beat the Magic, the Knicks beat the 76ers, and the Nuggets come back and beat the Lakers.
That Knicks game, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
How that thing ended. Looking like they're maybe dead in the water, and then a couple big threes, and the Garden is exploding.
I mean, the Nuggets were down double digits going into the fourth quarter. Came back against the Lakers.
Oh, it could have happened to a better group of guys.
Jamal Murray hit one at the buzzer.
All right, when we get back, maybe talk a little baseball, some LSU gymnastics. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. That's 225-888-8888. If you get in an accident, you need somebody who's going to fight for you, you want Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Also follow them on social media at Get Gordon, where they have sit-downs and great content with a lot of your favorite athletes, the members of the G team. But check it out. If you are a high school graduating senior 2024, go to GordonGives.com and find details on how to enter to win one of 12 laptops that Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys are giving away. Start college off on the right foot. A brand new laptop. Foot top. Is there a joke to be made there? I don't know.
I think so.
Get Gordon, get it done. Lap. Foot.
You keep trying?
I'm going to lap them toes.
GetGordon.com. Turn his mic off. GetGordon.com is the website to go to see what they can do for you in the courtroom. Past client results, all that information. Get Gordon on social media. Pick up the phone in Louisiana, your area code, followed by 888-8888.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150s, $10,000 off the new F-150 truck, plus 1.9% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shay Dixon stops by for his weekly visit, talk recruiting and transfer portal. LSU back on the diamond against Nichols, 3-6 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I feel stupid, but I know it won't last for long.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. LSU baseball playing tonight. Now that I'm looking at my notes, I've completely forgot to read anything or look up anything about LSU baseball. I did see that Brady Neal aggravated his shoulder injury Saturday's game against Mizzou, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also, there have been some allusions to maybe Chase Shores coming back in some manner this season, but Jay Johnson, even though he's the one that had kind of maybe floated that idea in the first place, he seems to have pretty much quashed it when asked again about it, saying he doesn't think that'd be in Shores' best interest, which is a huge bummer because Chase Shores is probably going to go to the draft, right? Like we'll never see Chase Shores in an LSU baseball uniform.
Probably not.
Is he draft eligible age?
I believe so. I believe that's why. Somebody fact check me on that, but
I think you're right.
What a bummer, though. I mean, we saw him for 18 innings. He had a sub-2 ERA. Didn't it all culminate? Was it Tennessee that he had that great performance against? Just a real bummer if that's the only Chase Shores we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's got depressing news.
Yeah.
He's somebody we talked about.
Well, I guess it's not really
hoping
news.
to
I
get-
think we already knew this.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, just
But
the way you
yeah,
lay
to
it
think
out.
about, yeah.
You lay it out, and it's like, man,
Especially with what you
I
need.
barely knew you.
I know. And you were so tantalizing, weren't you? We had like a little summer fling, and then just never got to see you again. A little spring fling, I suppose.
Greece.
Um,
Well, I guess they saw each other again later in school.
Yeah.
But it started off as a fling.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Who's else your baseball player now?
Nichols.
That's right, Nichols. Big time game against Colonels. Remember, Colonels got him last year.
Alondra was like so fired up to be covering the LSU
No, I know
Nichols
she's.
game.
I forgot though. I was thinking too late for some
producing
reason.
the Nichols game tonight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's kind of the same old story. I feel like with the midweek here, they're going to throw a ton of arms, try to gain some guys some confidence, maybe going into the weekend, continue to try to figure out who's going to be your main bullpen arms coming out. Do we think Nate Ackenhausen is locked into that Game 3 starter role?
I would think so.
Yeah, I feel so
I mean,
as well.
after his performance, what did he go 4 2/3?
Yeah.
Gave up 2 runs? I mean, that, and then
That's
Griffin
exactly
Herring came in. Yeah,
and then finished it out. Now Griffin Herring might be used earlier in the series. Like it didn't call for it this series.
Yeah,
but if you can do it, obviously, like he's going to give you 4 or 5 innings, and you can have 2 or 3 guys ready to go. It feels like because the other way that it was working on Sunday certainly wasn't the way to go. So
no.
Now you lose him out of the bullpen, and now if you ask Jay Johnson, he might say, you know what, like Nate's not necessarily going to be guaranteed to start Game 3 because if we need him in Game 2,
true,
to be able to come in because Griffin Herring was in Game 1, to if we had a lead to shut it down.
Which pitcher, not that this is going to be like, going to get you too pumped, but which pitcher would you like to see throw well tonight more so than any other? I think for me, it's still Thatcher Hurd.
I was going to say the same thing.
And he is the big conundrum here because we saw the rhythm last year, which was so similar to this. I mean, did we forget that he went out there against Texas and shined earlier this year? I mean, he was the Friday night guy. He had a great fall. His fall from grace has been stunning. And again, but last year he somehow managed to find his way and come back. So like, here's to hoping, because last week did not go well, midweek.
No.
So here's to hoping tonight, whatever his role may be, that he can find something and gain some of that confidence back.
You just don't know what it is.
No.
Like the way that his career so far at LSU's played out, and you get excited about it, and then he just doesn't have it. And then last year he finds it, and he finds it at the most important time. And thankfully for LSU, he did. And then this year, like you said, like coming out of the fall, like against Xavier, he started. Like he was the guy. It was going to be him on Friday night.
So crazy. And again, and the point of that is like, he wasn't just gifted that.
No.
Like he balled out all fall, all spring. Like he made Jay Johnson believe he was going to be the Friday night guy and now he can't even be in the pen on the weekend.
Yeah, and a Friday night guy with a team that has Holman and Jump, like two good pitchers.
Yes.
So it's not like you were Friday by default.
Yeah.
You had
Good
two
point.
guys that, Gage Jump might not have been ready to be the Friday guy, but he is showing, and certainly the last time out, that he is a quality arm. And so, like, you beat out two good pitchers to be the Friday guy.
So here's hoping that Hurd can maybe get some momentum going tonight. Okay, Matt Smith is saying Short's eligible for the 2025 MLB draft and will be at school next season. Okay. I hope that I'm wrong about that. That would be... Okay, Champ says Chase will be 20 in 1 month. So he would not be draft eligible, right? They got to be 21?
So is he a sophomore or a junior?
He's a
that would make him
true
a sophomore.
sophomore.
That would make him a true.
So
for
has
some
he been
reason,
out
I
of
thought
high
he was
school for-
redshirted, or I thought he was old. No, it'd only be 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I just thought maybe he was old for his grade. I
I think my timeline is
off.
off. Yeah.
Either way, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe we get
Hell
Chase
yeah.
back afterwards. That's a little positive news. All right.
Champ, James McCann hit a home run for the Orioles last night.
Oh, you're saying Orioles catcher James McCann,
Yeah,
Arkansas great?
Yeah,
wow.
he had a
Shout out.
home
Imagine
run
that, dude.
last night for the O's.
All right, when we get back, it's like such a weird deep cut reference that like some people are like, what are y'all talking about? More OTB closing out hour one next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Go to All-Star Toyota right off of Airline in Goodwood today, very conveniently located. Shout out All-Star. They just got me and my vehicle serviced up. I love it, right? Because when I bought the Siennas, I chose my level of warranty. And it's like what you're comfortable with, but I didn't even have to crack open my wallet for any of the services. Just good to go. And now, all those lights are off. And I mean, the engine lights and everything. It's just a good feeling after they've been on for a while. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. It is.
It's like Christmas lights. You don't want to turn them off.
No. I'm glad they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, they'll certainly do that for you. Go check them out if you're buying new, if you're leasing, or if you're renting. We tell you about the rental process every single day because nobody does it like All-Star does it. Everything is available. It is per day rental prices, fantastic pricing. Even if it's just for 1 day, they have got you covered. Check it out all online at AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
It's crazy. I felt awful all morning, and now I'm starting to feel good, guys. Just hanging out with friends, doing a little sports talk. You know?
God, what happened to Kings of Leon?
It's another good song, dude.
It's a great song.
Great album.
Great song.
The entire album's incredible.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like they went away, but
I
they were huge.
They were.
About a decade plus ago.
I love that little. Somebody.
It is.
This is a topper. This is like on the list.
It's giving me really good feelings right
Yeah.
now. I'm not gonna lie.
Good
It's giving me
vibes.
Really good
It's a great
feelings.
song.
You know who else gives good vibes? The LSU gymnastics team. You can just leave this on underneath the laundry if you want. I don't mind. And what I think has become not only genius marketing, but one of the more fun championship traditions. If you go by Canes on Highland today at 10 a.m., you'll see Haley Bryant, Kaya Johnson, Savannah Connor McClain, Leah Finnegan. They're going to be working it. And how about Haley Bryant, guys? She's already won the 2024 AAI award that's given to the nation's top gymnast. We all know she led the nation in all-around and vault. She had 8 perfect 10s. She completed the Gym Slam and Season Slam, right? Which is where you get a perfect 10 in every event. She did it in a single season. A lot of people rarely do that for their career. Now she's up for the Honda Award. And what's interesting about that is if or when she wins that, she then goes against the top female athletes from 11 other sports that won the Honda Award. And then it's like the Tri-Wizard Tournament. One of them emerges as the Collegiate Woman of the Year and the winner of the Honda Cup. So shout out to Haley Bryant.
Honda Cup
I'm going,
seems intense.
I'm going to guess that she'll be going against Caitlin Clark in that.
Oh, you're right. Damn it.
Yeah.
But I still think she'll win the Honda Gymnast Award.
Yes.
Also, apparently, the Bulldogs tried to come crawling back to Jay Clark. How about that? So remember, Jay Clark, longtime assistant at Georgia under legendary coach Suzanne Yocklin. When I was growing up in Georgia, Jake, I remember the place that I did a lot of physical therapy at after shoulder surgery stuff. They worked with the Georgia gymnastics team, and like they were pretty legendary even at that time in the state.
Yeah.
Right, known for being absolutely dominant, whatever. So Suzanne retires after 24 years. Jay Clark becomes head coach. They fire him after 4 years. And remember, that's when Dee Dee kind of picked him up and said, hey, come over here. You still got this. Let's do it. And, since he joined back in 2012, LSU's now made the Final Four 8 times. Like, they've made it 10 times in school history. They've made it 8 since Jay got here. They've now won their first ever national championship. And wouldn't you know, the Bulldogs just fired their coach and tried to hire Jay Clark.
Sorry, Josh. You ain't getting him.
Yeah, I forgot that Josh Brooks was a LSU grad and Hammond native.
Yeah, he's equipment manager for the football team.
Some gun, dude.
Now he's the Georgia AD.
They also tried to hire recruiting coordinator, assistant coach Garrett Griffith, and his wife, Courtney McCool Griffith. And, of course, Courtney, former Georgia Bulldog, Olympic silver medalist, Olympic bronze medalist, 3-time Natty champ at Georgia. But apparently, a couple of raises, and everybody's staying put.
Nice.
So shout out to the homies, the coaching staff remaining intact. If you want to honor this team, National Championship Parade starts 6:30 on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. on campus, and then a celebration in the PMAC at 7. So shout out
Very well
gymnastics.
deserved.
Yeah. I'm so glad that they're sticking around. I mean, how good would it feel on a personal validation level to have the very people that fired you come crawling back to you and say, we were wrong, we want you to lead our program again? That's the ultimate revenge.
Do you know the Charlie Murphy scene when he's in the Dave Chappelle show and he's like sitting there and he just starts dying laughing?
Yeah.
I think it was either Rick James or one of the two.
Yeah.
Like, I would just send that back to him. You know what I mean? Like, they tried to hire me. Yeah.
The apparently Chad's saying that Jay went to UGA as well. I didn't know that.
It's always interesting to me, and I know we're about to break, but like, you go to school, you play for school, but you've been somewhere so long. Look at Beth, played at Florida, here at LSU. Bianco played at LSU, been at Ole Miss so long.
Hey, shout out to the legend Jay Clark, man. Natty Champs! Hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuvenate Medical, restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuvenateMedical.com or go see him today. Remember, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport, now Monroe as well.
Shreveport.
You go and get your free consultation. They draw your labs, and then your body becomes a guide to put together a plan for you to treat the untreated effects of aging. Maybe this is something like HRT or semaglutide. Maybe it's a B vitamin shot. Maybe it's not. Like we were something the other day. They do Botox as well. Like they offer a plethora of services to get you feeling young and good again. Go to Rejuvenate Medical, RejuvenateMedical.com.
Yeah, once you get that website, we always encourage you to get your consultation set up, top right corner of that website, because maybe you're dealing with something, you don't know what it is. They are going to get to the bottom of it over at Rejuvenate Me, but you can't do it unless you get that consultation set up at RejuvenateMedical.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The
best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 78. In hour two of today's show, we'll talk some LSU football. We'll also have some OTB mailbag. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Hour number 2. Hope you're having a great day. Wow. Mark says, T-Up, Jay Clark was a native of Georgia, went to high school in Roswell and to UGA. That's crazy, man. I did not realize that. If only I knew anything about Georgia geography, right? Like I know of Roswell. I knew plenty of people who from that area went there. Just no idea where it is.
It is. If you don't know Louisiana, I'm like, okay, like he's lived here long enough, but whatever. Like the fact
I know
that you
Louisiana infinitely better than I know Georgia.
I know. Like, and you don't know the surrounding area of Atlanta at all.
No.
Like if you didn't know like South Georgia, you didn't know Savannah or any. Okay, well, you're not from there. You don't.
I mean,
know.
Savannah's easier to know where it is because it's in South Georgia. Yeah. I think Rome is as well, maybe.
The Rome Braves.
Gainesville's north, right by Athens. See, look at me. I know. I operated in a triangle. My suburbs, my wife's suburbs, my school. And then with a lot of unofficial visits to Athens. So funny, you know?
I wonder why that was.
Yeah, I don't know why either. So almost every weekend, going and getting free tickets and going to Georgia, despite the fact I knew that I was never going to go to Georgia.
Who would it was Mark Rick?
Yeah. And Mike Bobo.
This Hebert guy's here every weekend. I think we got a chance.
and Mike Bobo, dude.
That's true.
Some things, some things change, others remain the same. Sorry. Okay, so LSU transfer portal. We know they need defensive tackle help. I apologize for not being more on top of this. Busy morning this morning, cooking. My wife had to leave town to go be with her sister. She's a child, so I'm not to brag, running the household. Which by the way, you single parents out there deserve. I don't know how you do it. Truly legendary. You deserve all the love and respect in the world. But the point is, I did not get quite as deep in the defensive tackle transfer portal weeds as I wanted to. I saw Lon yesterday, LSUodyssey.com.
Say Lon.
Willing to go out on a limb and say that he expects who's the Michigan State defensive tackle? Simeon Barrow. That's right. That he expects Simeon Barrow to commit to LSU. From what he's heard about how the visit has gone. I think Philip Blitty out of Indiana ended up committing elsewhere.
Yeah, he committed to Auburn.
Okay, so he ends up going to Auburn.
Which he chose Auburn over LSU. That's odd, but
maybe he didn't.
Yeah,
that's true. Know.
That's true.
Is that odd? Auburn's got a ton of money. Hugh Freeze a hell of a recruiter. Like, look at Hugh Freeze's last recruiting class. Why in the hell was Auburn, like, how in the hell did they get their way to the top 10? Like, how in the world did Auburn almost convince, didn't they almost convince Ryan Williams and old boy from Ohio State to flip? The two receivers?
Yeah, I mean, Williams decommitted when Saban left. That they ultimately pulled him back in. But yeah, like Auburn was his target.
But yeah, so Auburn, I mean, there's no shame in losing Auburn. Have you heard anything on the Simeon Barrow officially committing to LSU front?
I mean, he visited this weekend.
Yes, that was on Sunday.
Yeah, that was his first visit by all accounts. It went really well.
And then another transfer name that we haven't mentioned at another position of need for LSU would be cornerback. Though, again, I kind of don't hate the corner situation right now. It's got some talent. But LSU has reportedly reached out to former 5-star Cormani McClain, who, of course, played for Colorado. This was a massive get for Deion Sanders at the time. Right now, he is projected to commit to Florida. I'm in a weird spot with McClain where there's some red flags in that he didn't have the best freshman year. He was getting beat really badly at times, but also I'm okay with a guy having to develop over time and then getting really good. I'm not saying that he's just going to be awesome on day one, or I don't care about the 5-star ranking or anything, but maybe the bigger red flags are when asked why he didn't play more last season, because he's a 5-star, but he only played in 9 games, started 4. He did play more as the season went on, but when asked why he didn't play more, Deion said, well, you can't show up late to meetings, you can't miss meetings, and he referenced the fact that he can see how much film everybody's watching on their iPads, and so he knows who's prepared, and he would be a fool to put someone out there who's not prepared. And he said that goes for everybody, but there's some there's some red flags there where I definitely understand kicking the tires, but I would not, if you're a fan, I would not be too hung up on trying to get Cormani McClain no matter what.
I think if you're going after the corner position, he's a talented player, but that's not currently what you need. You have young talent. You don't need young talent.
True.
Now, if you could add a guy and it was a luxury, sure, but that's not what the game is right now, right? You have a certain amount that you have in NIL, situations, and right now it needs to be on defensive tackle, getting multiple defensive tackles, probably not just one, but also if you're going to add a corner T-Bob for this team, I think it needs to be a veteran guy. A guy who has been through the fire, a guy that if the young guys, for whatever reason, right, the lights turn on, they're a little too bright at the beginning of the season, you have a veteran guy. That's why like Alexander coming back from injury, I think is going to be huge. Is he the most talented guy in that room? Absolutely not. But he's a calming force. He's a guy that's been through that fire, and he can go out there. And when he went down last year, as bad as it was, it got even worse.
Yeah.
So I think if you're going to add to that position, I think you add somebody that has that experience, not somebody that you think maybe one day sort of can live up to the 5-star ranking.
God, it's so crazy. Jarek Bernard-Converse has such a he takes up more of my mind space than he should.
He's like the perfect addition.
I know. I hope, and it was right at the beginning of the portal. I hope that people remember Jarek Bernard-Converse. He was a huge, massive factor in winning the West and all the success that you had in year one of Brian Kelly. And a guy even in that same vein, if not close to that same talent level, would be exactly what LSU would be looking for here. So chat kind of had the same thought I did, but I didn't know if it was completely fair to McClain to say this. But Ace Jordan says Denver Harris 2.0. Christian does a handshake emoji with McClain and Denver Harris. Ava Marzwani, it sounds like Denver Harris. I kind of agree that some of the red flags do seem similar. And I understand why you tried the Denver Harris experiment last year. And again, we all know that talent gets you more opportunities than it would otherwise. But it just went so disastrously that I don't know if you go down that road again. Though, again, new coaches. So maybe you're like, well, we'd be better suited to handling it this year. There is that element of it. But yeah, I would certainly maybe feel a bit more gun shy because of the Denver Harris situation.
I guess with some of the comments coming out of Boulder, yeah, for sure. I mean, very talented player, but you're wondering, is he ready to be able to do what it takes to be a high-level college football player?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, again, you're not trying to compare because we don't know the situations, but similarities for sure. And, you knew that Denver Harris was going to be somebody that you were kind of, taking a flyer on. It's a little bit of a wild card. And at times it's like, okay. And at times it's like, okay. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't bad logic because Kelly was like, well, yeah, he has to get it turned around. It's his last opportunity, right? And it just still didn't quite come about. So we'll see. I don't really care about the McClain news because I don't think there's much there. The Barrow's the one you should be watching because right. It's actually, he is the top-ranked uncommitted D tackle. He's even ahead of the dude from TCU, those freshman All-American, All Big 12. So if LSU, like, you saw me, I wasn't very excited about the Gio Paez news. Sure, it's a body. It is what it is. But if LSU lands Simeon Barrow, that's a pretty massive get that would make this team significantly better in my mind.
I agree. It's a position of need, but it's not just a body. It is somebody that has played at a high level. It is somebody that comes in day one. I think he is plug and play. He is going to be a starter next to Guillory. And even if he wasn't, which I think he is, you know he's going to get some run. You know he's going to be out there on the field. He's played in the Big Ten Conference, and that is a conference that plays physical up front. Like, so all those things like play well for you going to get a player and trying to have him ready to go because you need him ready to go. Like whoever you get has to be ready to play.
Yeah, and he's ready to play.
Yeah.
Right away. And then him and Guillory starting next to each other. That's at least then a legitimate starting line. Right, and then you continue to kind of figure it out behind, and maybe get some big freshman contributions and whatnot. So here's to hoping that our guy Lon is on it here, and Barrow is Barrow's coming down the pipe. All right, we got OTB mailbag coming up next, guys. So if you're in the YouTube.com/1045 ESPN chat, the Bayou 4 chat, go ahead and get your questions in the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll answer them next here on Off the Bench. Stick around.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
K2Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. That's KTOZblinds.com. K2Z. Easy as 1, 2, 3. As you have Brandon Barrett now to your home, you take advantage of his decades of experience, and he perfectly figures out how your home, your rooms interact with the sunlight at any given moment during the day. This allows them to find you exactly what you need from a functional and utility standpoint, right? So controlling heat, light, if it's like a baby remover, you need blackout curtains, whatever the case may be. But they also got the aesthetic. So if you want to bring your home to the next level, like what makes a room pop more than great drapes? You know? Before, it looks like nobody lives there. You throw those up, all of a sudden, oh my God, how classy are these people? K2Z window coverings.
Then you're wondering who lives there.
Yes.
Must be Burt Reynolds or something.
Okay, that would not, sure. Yeah, why not?
That'd be a good one.
That would not be.
K2Zblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right. Tuesday, 8:15. We've been doing it for years. You know what that means. Give us some weird questions here. Hashtag OTB. Let's do some OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
They'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right, Brian Burgess is always on it with whatever today's national holiday is. Even though we missed Earth Day yesterday, guys.
Go Earth.
Every day is Earth Day.
It's true. We also celebrated because we were here, so.
Yeah.
We used the Earth yesterday.
Yeah.
No. I get where you. No, I don't agree with any of y'all, but that's fine. We didn't mention once that it was Earth Day yesterday.
You don't have to mention
We
it.
should have at least said, like, don't litter or something.
Hey, actions speak louder than words.
Well,
Yeah,
we did
did
talk
you
about
litter
littering.
We did talk about littering last week.
We were
Littering
ahead
and-
of the
Littering
situation, right?
Littering and smoking the reefer.
Super.
Hashtag
Yes.
OTB mailbag. It's National Cherry Cheesecake Day. How does
Oh.
cherry cheesecake get its own
Right.
day? Anyway,
Yeah.
National Cherry Cheesecake Day. What's your favorite type of cheesecake?
So I don't know if this counts as
Banana.
cheesecake.
They have it at Cheesecake
From
Factory.
Monday.
I love key lime pie.
That's good too.
Yeah.
That's not
No.
a cheesecake.
It's like
key lime
literally the
pie.
exact same. Like it has a graham cracker crust. It has a cream cheese thing. It just has lime. I don't know why they call it a pie. It's like a key lime cheesecake to me.
Huh. What's your favorite burger? I like a chicken sandwich. You know?
No, I don't
Same
think-
energy.
I don't think that's the same.
Same energy. Both have buns, you know?
They're the exact same thing. Just has like a key lime flavor to it.
I think of cheesecake as being thicker, where I think of key lime pie as being a little fluffier and lighter.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think you're an idiot.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were going to give it back. I thought now I just feel bad. Now I feel like I just called you an idiot in front of everybody on
You
air, and
did.
now I'm just a bully and a jerk. I
You
thought you were going to be like,
are.
well, I think you're dumb. Damn it.
Nobody hears what you say off air.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. When's the last time you went on a pic? Oh, by the way, I don't know. I just like normal cheesecake.
I was going to say, like, that
It's
and,
like
like,
a normal
strawberry
cheesecake.
topping, like something
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went on a picnic?
Dang, I
It's
don't
been
know.
a while.
Yeah.
4 years, maybe.
On a picnic?
Yeah, bro.
And I mean, it wasn't a picnic. We picked up small sliders and we're at LSU. Just ate it on a bench outside LSU.
No,
that
that's
was
not
my
a
That's
picnic.
a picnic. Yeah,
That's
that
what
counts.
I ate it outside.
No,
I
it's
wasn't
not
at a
picnic.
table.
A picnic's if you like make a plan, you bring the food, it's in like containers or something special, whatever, and you bring a blanket, you sit down, and you eat it. Like
Yeah.
you can go to a soccer
And then
game,
you get
like
murdered by the Zodiac Killer.
that's true.
Yeah.
I still hadn't caught that guy. Like you can go to like
He's
the soccer game this
Senator,
weekend. Like
Texas.
we planned because we had so many games. Wait,
That's
what?
true.
It was, yeah, Ted Cruz.
Ted
You don't
Cruz
remember that
is the
story?
Zodiac Killer.
Well,
That's what
there was
they
a
say.
thing that his dad was the Zodiac Killer. I think was originally what it was.
Soccer
pass
picnic
it
sounds
on.
great. Oh, could you have a picnic at the berm, maybe?
Yes.
My favorite picnic story is kicking Brian Finneran and his son out of the fishing hole back in the day because I was trying to
Falcons
impress
receiver?
my wife. Yep. Walked up to him, was like, bro, look, I got to bring my girlfriend here in a little bit. Like, I hate to ask y'all, but can y'all bounce? He was cool about it.
Mine is putting pieces of bread on my cousin's head so that the ducks would come, like, grab it
Was
off
he
his
asleep?
head. No, he was.
Oh, he just
yeah.
wanted to be fed to the
No,
ducks.
like, he was getting upset whenever we would do that, but it's fine.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Does Antonio Brown have CT? Antonio Brown I've never seen such a good Tyrion technique. Where Tyrion Lannister, remember, he tells Jon Snow to wrap yourself up in your insecurities like they're your armor, right?
Yeah.
Antonio Brown has made this whole CT ESPN thing like an actual thing. And now people like love him online. I think he does, unfortunately, which is sad, but he's, I guess, making the most of it in some weird way.
Yeah. How impressive is this, T-Bob? Antonio Brown is blocked on Twitter by Caitlin Clark, Tom Brady, and Joe Biden.
I mean,
that's
I
pretty
mean,
very different.
One social media manager off Joe Biden's account.
Think about how big of a troll you are. All three of those people, very different walks
Wait,
of life.
Joe Biden, Caitlin Clark, and who else?
Tom Brady. Just think about it. They're all in very different walks of life, but they all share one common interest in hating Antonio Brown.
Oh, my God.
He had a really funny tweet I don't know if it was this morning, but I saw it this morning. Mark Hamill was like, President Biden's the best president we've ever had. And he put a really funny video. Go look at it.
He had
I can't describe it.
him making fun of Dave Portnoy by typing angry cracker into AI. And then it was just a bunch of crackers furiously typing. I think and it was like Barstool employees defending Dave. Oh, it was funny, dude. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Favorite Shakespearean quote?
Oh, that's easy.
This is not
that's
me.
easy. No. To be or not to be. That was
Yeah.
Shakespeare, right?
I believe it's from
That's
Hamlet.
the only one
It is Hamlet.
That's the only one I know. So that's the one I'm going to go with.
I feel so uncultured. I should know more Shakespeare. And there's one that I'm thinking of that I came across in Neil Gaiman the other day, and I don't remember it. The one I can just remember off the top of my head is the one that Westworld always plays with, which is, these violent delights have violent ends.
Yeah. The truth. Wait, what is it? A lie gets around the world faster than the truth can get its pants on.
That does not sound like, is that Shakespeare?
I'm pretty sure that's Shakespeare.
Okay, hell yeah, maybe so.
Are you gonna call me an idiot again?
Idiot.
I'm pretty sure that's Shakespeare, but I could be completely wrong.
Y'all know me. I do not know. I'm a card-carrying member of Meathead Nation.
I never, I don't know. I didn't understand trying to read Shakespeare in high school. I feel like I should revisit it sometime. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Alec Box Stadium traditions a first-time attendee should know before walking in.
Ooh,
where's Musso?
Stadium traditions.
I don't think you got to know anything, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty chill there.
Really, the only thing they do is when they play that, and then you clap twice. They do that, but I mean, you can pick up on that pretty easily when everyone else is
One unique thing that they do is
it was Mark Twain, not Shakespeare.
After the top of the I was about to say.
That's your favorite Mark Twain quote.
This Shakespeare quote: "Be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them."
That's super gritty.
I like that one.
is super gritty. They do have that one. They have this really cool tradition at Alec Box. I've never seen it anywhere else where like after the top of the seventh, they play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Outside of that, I think that's probably all you really need to know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pretty much.
I don't
Literally
really know
everybody in
another
those
one.
seventh inning stretch that nobody was.
Yeah,
just a
well,
bad
I
joke?
got it. Yeah.
Is it a bad joke?
I was
or did
gonna say,
nobody
I'm
get it? Or were y'all
pretty
playing
sure
along
they all
very
do it.
confused?
No, I was just thinking
Yeah, I was
doesn't
playing
like
along.
basically every ballpark does that.
Yes.
So.
That's, okay. God, I hate y'all. Never mind. Dumbasses. Hashtag OTB mailbag. T-Bob. LeBron cried and walked out of the press conference over the officiating. If LeBron really did that last night, that's pathetic. We just laid it out last week. The Los Angeles Lakers, during the regular season, literally shot nearly triple the amount of free throws of the second place team in the NBA. So miss me with that crap, LeBron.
Yeah, get out of here. You blew a lead.
soft.
You were
And
upset.
I like you, but miss me with that crap.
Yeah, you blew a big lead. You're upset about it, and that is where you turn to.
Go read the first page of a book.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. I have 3 hours to kill in Memphis before a meeting. Am I a total creep if I walk around the zoo until it's time? No.
Go to Graceland or Sun Records.
No. Zoos
Here
are
in Memphis.
awesome. Why would you be? If you're thinking you're a creep at
Why
the zoo,
did you have to ask
that's a little
that?
questionable.
Yeah.
Why are you feeling creepy? I mean, you're
Right.
just visiting a zoo. It's not like it's like a children's playground or something.
Whoa.
Well, no, I'm saying like, yeah, that would be weird. Because what's your excuse for going to swing on the swings? Like, you should not be at a children's playground. A zoo, everybody's allowed, adult, whoever.
Hey, I have the LeBron video if you guys want to see it.
I do want to see it.
Emotionally, after you lose such a heartbreaking game.
I mean, yeah, of course it's a heartbreaking game. You don't ever want to lose in that fashion. I don't understand what's going on in the replay center, to be honest. I've said it. I think I said it this year or last year, whatever. D'Lo clearly gets hit in the face on a drive. We have a replay center. If it's going to go, it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It bothers me. Sorry I didn't answer your question, but that, like, and then I just saw what happened with the Sixers Knick game too. What are we doing?
Down the mic and walks away. Again, for those that forgot, the Lakers had a over plus 1,000 net free throw margin this year. And second place was like 390.
Yeah.
I think is what it was. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What is one color you'll never wear?
I'm not a huge fan of red.
I
Liverpool
think salmon looks dumb as hell.
Yeah.
And I know that Taylor wears salmon every now and then. And I'm
don't
not even
like
coming.
it.
I thought you had a salmon polo that you wear every now and then. I am not a fan of salmon. I love salmon food, not the
I have
color.
like a athletic wear, like sleeveless shirt that I wear to the gym sometimes if that's color. But other than that, no, I don't have a salmon polo. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Anything, guys?
I said red.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really discriminate.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Top 3 holidays outside of Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. Jeez, kind of
4th of July, the good barbecue.
St. Patrick's Day.
A lot of St.
4th of
Patrick's Day
July.
parade. Yeah.
I would go
Arbor Day.
I would go I would go probably 4th of July
Day.
first, then St. Patrick's Day, and then like Memorial Day.
Wait, guys. Easter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You said Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Yeah. Easter's a good
I mean,
holiday.
Easter's a good one.
good family time. Good
I don't.
meal. Good
I feel
reason.
bad. Like,
So Easter, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day?
no, I'm saying I don't want Easter.
Yeah, Easter can be mine.
You don't like Easter?
I like Easter.
No, it's fine.
It's a great family holiday.
Yeah, no, but I like Memorial Day because like you're generally like somewhere swimming if you're lucky at Memorial Day.
The meaning of it, yeah. Veterans Day, Memorial Day.
Yeah, that's what I meant as
Without,
Sure.
Jesus.
I agree.
Without question.
Hashtag.
We typically work those days, but
I'll be at the Sphere. Can't wait. Hashtag go to mailbag. Did y'all see FSU giving unconquered rings to their players with 13-0 on them as if they didn't play a bowl game?
Ugh.
What was the score of their bowl game? Does anybody remember?
I ain't gonna play this game with you.
I mean, I think it was something like
63-3 or something.
Yeah,
I ain't
63
gonna
to
play
3.
this game with you.
I mean, it was
that Florida State team at all representative of the team that got
well,
to 13-0?
you know, if they would have played that game at full strength instead of opting out, they could have 15-0 rings, but they don't.
Oh,
So I don't feel bad for them.
Georgia's always going to beat the brakes off Florida State.
Yep.
Full team, no team.
Even if it with a healthy Jordan Travis, you can beat the brakes off?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yes.
Disagree hard. And no, I got no problem
It's a
with
bad
them.
matchup for Florida
I got
State.
no problem with giving them rings because they earned rings.
They weren't 13-0 though. Stolen valor.
No.
Yeah,
they
lost the game.
They were 13-0 at one point.
Yeah.
It'd be like a team that finishes 9-3, being like, we started 8-0.
That bowl game's an exhibition. I don't care if you don't want to count that. It wasn't their team. It wasn't their team at all. At all. At all.
They had Florida State uniforms on.
And you're right. And that is the only thing. That is the only connective tissue. That is the only connective tissue between that team and the regular team is you are right. They had the same uniforms on. And I guess the same coaches.
Bruh. If you play a sport and you get like 6 guys injured and they're not in there,
that
still the team.
That ain't this, though. You know that ain't this.
They weren't 13-0, though. That'd be like y'all claiming that y'all didn't lose the game in 11. Y'all were much better than the Florida State team.
We got our ass kicked at full strength. We had an undefeated regular season, which is what Florida State is saying.
Yeah, it could have said that.
It said unconquered. It didn't say like champions or anything.
Georgia conquered them.
No.
Yeah, that's not even true.
No,
either.
they did not. Bruh.
Yes,
I think
they
y'all,
did.
I get what you're saying, but like, let's not act
hard.
like it's not Florida State's fault that they weren't at full strength. It was their fault.
Yeah, they had
it
the
wasn't
option
like
to
it was
play
just
in that
some
game.
Natural disaster or something.
Jordan
that pushed
Travis didn't, but
back.
everybody else did.
They opted out.
I feel like any of us would have opted out in that same situation.
Nope. You think I would have ever opted out of a football game?
I think you would have opted out of that football game.
My! No,
I think you
know you're lying too.
I'm not. Okay, I'll say this. I would think it'd be closer to a coin flip. I don't think you'd 1,000% play in that football game. I mean, they suffered a grievous wound.
Bro, I played 8 days after knee surgery against Notre Dame because I was like, I'm not
because
missing.
you wanted, because you're like a big me guy and you wanted all the glory of like balling out against Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl and like getting like sick rings and stuff.
Yeah, I played like 15 to 20 plays because that's all I could do. But no, I just
okay.
I wasn't missing a football game unless they told me I had
got
to.
your back, dude. Okay. You know what I was thinking about the other day? When I was on my way to Disney when it was Selection Sunday, I stopped at Buc-ee's, and the manager stopped me, and he's like a big college football fan. He was so excited. And he's like, "Oh, I'm an FSU fan." It's about an hour before the show, and I'm like, "Oh, bro, y'all got it. Don't worry. There's no way they can keep y'all out. If they keep y'all out, that is just flat out wrong." Next thing you know, he's yelling brisket on the board. He's in a good mood. I'm in a good mood.
Until you weren't.
College football ruined it.
Until you weren't. You really don't think, though, that if they played full string, Georgia doesn't win that game by more than one touchdown?
I mean, I don't know. I saw Georgia look fallible at times. What do you mean?
With that much time to prepare for a game?
I'm also a believer in Florida State. Look at how good they came out back-to-back years against LSU. I think that defense would have given Georgia trouble, dude. 100%. Look what Alabama's defense did to him. Carson becked his pants. Fumbling jet sweeps like a scrub. I just love that Georgia fans, that old Daddy Nick got Georgia one last time and rode off into the sunset.
He did.
After did David Pollock curse himself or what, turning to Nick and telling him that at the Natty the year before?
Yes.
Georgia Falls, no longer on game day. I was talking to someone the other day, a couple we were hanging out with, and they said their number one hall pass was David Pollock. And I was like, that feels like way too attainable. Right? Like that's, and also like, Pollock should look and whatnot, but like, I don't know.
Of all the people? I'm using the hall pass on David Pollock?
On David Pollock. He could rush the passer.
He could. Back when he was like,
he had that play against South Carolina. Okay, last one. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Thoughts on the new Denver Broncos uniforms?
Terrible, awful.
Adam feels
what
there's complete
are
trash
they
garbage
doing?
in the even focus.
Horrible. There's 9 different combinations. All 9 are bad.
Yeah. What's weird to me is now they are at least going to go back to the full Orange Crush throwbacks at times, which is cool.
Just make that the permanent.
So I know it kind of feels like you kind of have to go. Like that's the weird thing is the new ones kind of look like the old ones. Like they didn't really change that much. I don't like
They look
those
like
numbers
they look like a
anymore.
cheaper version of the old ones.
Yeah. I would agree with
They look like Fanatics did them.
You should have done like the Lions did and gone back to block letters.
Yeah.
Those more slick looking letters are very like late 90s, early aughts. I feel like they're kind of out. Like the long basketball shorts.
People try to reinvent the wheel with new uniforms like the Falcons did. Just go back to, like, when Mike Vick was playing for you. Go back to that uniform. That was your best look. Denver, go back to, if you're going to go away from what you had, go back to the Elway look. The first Elway. I know we wore both. Yeah. Like, Dolphins, go back to your Merino days. Those are incredible uniforms. What are you doing?
Dolphins still look pretty good, don't they?
They're not bad, but they're the Merino era ones. When they wear those, it's one of the best in the entire NFL.
Bilbo says UGA had a ton of opt-outs for that game too. Please stop the cap. That's not true. UGA did not have a ton of opt-outs for that game.
I think they did.
They had like 2.
Brock Bowers didn't play in that game, right?
He's hurt, right?
Yeah. Did Ladd play in that game? Yeah, he made an incredible play. Yeah. Florida State would have caught them hands.
Florida State, as Camille points out, technically undefeated in 2023, right?
Yeah, that game's probably in 24.
Yeah. New Year's Day, maybe?
Yeah.
There you go.
At least put an asterisk on the ring.
It said unconquered. Is that not enough of an asterisk?
No, they've been conquered.
It's a tough word to say.
They've been conquered.
Yeah, that's not even true. Like, what's the difference between unconquered and undefeated?
What?
Like, what's the difference between unconquered and undefeated? They're spelled differently?
No, because... Yeah, I guess you're right, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally no difference.
Did you just say Taylor was right?
No, I just don't have the energy.
He's not feeling well this morning.
I just don't have the energy. I know... What was it? I know how I feel, but I also know there's going to be no changing of y'all's minds. I feel like we're all very clearly set in our ways in this regard. So we'll call it there. When we get back, more OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. The most complete, reliable, respected roof company in Louisiana. And I mean it, guys. Great group of guys and gals, too. From touring with him, working with him, getting to know him. Just a dynamic culture. Work hard 24/7, dude. Just like there's a vibrancy, an energy to the company. And if you go look at the reviews, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And remember, it's any size job, commercial, residential. It's anywhere in Louisiana, the Gulf South region. It's any type of roof. And it's also your interior construction as well when something goes wrong. Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, go to the website. You can find the contact information. Gonzales, Baton Rouge, Madisonville, Houma, Lafayette. I mean, they're throughout the state of Louisiana. So if you're in our listening area, we are talking to you. And it is truly a one-stop shop. Sure, roofing needs, commercial, residential. They can handle anything there. Construction services as well. ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150s, $10,000 off the new F-150 truck, plus 1.9% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. there are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Back, OTB! Taylor's made NFL story of the day. Hit his music. To be fair, I didn't give you much.
Well, we don't have music for this yet. So.
No, she plays the NFL films music.
Ah, well, it don't matter.
Dummy.
God, do you even pay attention to your own segment?
Yeah.
That's why this segment's never going to work. Anyway. Okay, what you got?
So yesterday, about 12:30, Zach Wilson has been traded. He is no longer with the New York Jets.
Okay.
So Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to keep looking over his shoulder in that tightly contested QB battle.
Absolutely.
He has been traded to the Denver Broncos. So Sean Payton's got a new QB. It's him and Jarrett Stidham in that QB room as of right now. So not necessarily top tier, but, you know, what can Sean Payton do with them? Here's why this was a great move for the Broncos. Did you guys see what they gave away and got in return? They gave up a 6th-round pick. They got Zach Wilson and a 7th, and New York is going to pay a portion of Zach Wilson's contract.
Wow.
The Denver Broncos literally got Zach Wilson for nothing.
I mean,
That's a
yeah,
6 and a
for free.
7.
No, 100%.
That's a wash.
100%.
You get Wilson, and they're paying part of their contract. It doesn't say how much they're paying, but they are going to pay a portion of Zach Wilson's contract.
Again, turns out in a leverage negotiation setting, when the other team knows you're throwing this thing out, you just can't actually get much. How do we, Jake, as our resident Broncos analyst, how do we feel about the potential of Zach Wilson with Sean Payton? I mean, surely if anyone could fix him or get something out of him, it would be Payton.
Yeah, the guy trying to get it out of him last year was Nathaniel Hackett, the guy who was the Denver Broncos head coach that Sean Payton made fun of, that he said he was not a very good coach.
Shoot, you're right.
Right? And so maybe it was that situation, even though Flynn really does love Nathaniel Hackett.
Some guys are going to connect with other guys. You know, I mean, you never know, right?
Rodgers is going to bat for him, too.
Yeah, multiple times. Obviously, their days.
Well, him and Rodgers are like
boys,
boys, obviously. Yeah. Also, you know, maybe am I overestimating Sean Payton? Right? Because wasn't the idea that he could get something done with Russell Wilson, and nothing happened there?
No, nothing at all. In fact, that's why he's not there anymore.
He had Jameis playing well, conservative, but well.
Yeah.
Effective.
Well, maybe it's one of those things where Wilson, he's an established starter in the NFL. He's kind of set in his ways at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe that's why it didn't work with Sean Payton.
You're talking Russell Wilson. I was like, man.
No, Russell.
You're giving Zach Wilson a lot of credit
Wilson.
here. Yeah.
Zach Wilson's a guy that's still trying to make it in the NFL. He's still trying to prove himself.
Russell Wilson brings a lot of extra. A lot of extra.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
I think you can kind of grade Sean Payton off this much better than you can Russell Wilson.
And I'm not gonna lie, my brain is dumb, and if you're a top pick, and you bust as hard as it's gone thus far, like in the back of my head, I still think there's something there. Somebody's just got to maybe try to figure it out. But that's also the same thing that led me to thinking that like every news stop that, maybe Sam Darnold's actually going to be good this time. And then he just always ended up being okay. Even though, again, you can't really judge anybody for failing with the New York Jets because it's one of the worst franchises in the NFL.
Yeah. It's kind of like when people used to fail with the Raiders. I'm like, some of it's their fault, but also they kind of went into it with both hands and feet tied behind their back. So.
It's like being a quarterback for the Browns, unless you're an 80-year-old Joe Flacco. And even then, you threw like a ton of picks, but somehow still won games.
Yep. It was fun to watch.
So what do you think this means for the Broncos in the draft? Because, like, they're obviously taking a QB now if they weren't already. Because, like, now you have Jarrett Stidham.
I don't know
Zach
that they
Wilson.
are.
I don't know if you got Zach. They might try to
Janucci.
roll. They might try to roll with when are they picking?
They're picking at 12.
They might try to roll with Wilson. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, as of right now, Wilson might be your starter next year.
I know what I'm saying is like I think my brain's dumb, but I don't know if that sounds like the worst thing.
I mean, it's better than what you had for sure.
Colorado's next to Utah, right?
Yeah, he played in Utah. Yeah.
There's more there's more Mormons there. Maybe he's more comfortable there.
Are you trying to work that out in your head?
I'm just making sure they're next to each other.
Sort of. Yeah.
Will Zach Wilson be good? I wonder.
I think he'll be better
than Russell Wilson?
Than Russell Wilson was last year.
Okay. That seems crazy. But this has got to be, look, this is Zach Wilson's last chance to prove that he can make it. If you can't make it here, you've learned from Rodgers for a year, you're now going to have Sean Payton. If you can't make it here, then maybe you're just a career backup or maybe not even that.
Yes, I agree. If you can't make it here, new situation, you've got some nice weapons around you. It's either now or never. You've got a coach that has, in his history, a long list of developing quarterbacks, helping quarterbacks, improving quarterbacks, whatever you want to say. This is your last opportunity. And yes, that's the first time you've ever gotten anything on a map right on this show about Colorado and Utah, so I'm proud of you.
Big day for me. Closing out hour 2 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Right next to each other, you know? I knew it.
Is it west, east, north, or south?
Utah is very obviously west of Colorado.
2 for 2.
Look at that. I mean, golly, dude. Community Steel Company, maybe the only company that's more right than I am. Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. You need steel. You want local service. You know what? Look, and I'm talking like steel building, sheet metal, trim, purlin, tubing, accessories. It's all there. It's all manufactured right there in Gonzales, Louisiana, with a live and local sales team, people you can form relationships so they can better serve you and your needs at the best prices, the best product. Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, go see them right now in Gonzales, Louisiana, if you want to. You can listen to the show on the way. You can get there, tell them you heard us talking about Community Steel. They've been open for almost 2 hours already. Go to their website to find the information where they're located as well, communitysteelco.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward. always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Champ says Sean Payton doing it again. Anything he can do to be petty, prove he's better. Of course, talking about Hackett here. Adam Fields, there is no way Sean Payton is rolling with Zach Wilson. They're trading up and taking JJ. To say Zach Wilson's a better option than Russ Wilson is insane. Russell had 3 times the amount of touchdowns last year.
I just like throwing shade at Russell Wilson.
Are we giving Sean Payton too much credit at this point, though? Seems like he's only trying to recreate the early 2010 Saints. Since I don't have any more particular love for Sean Payton, I mean, there is some sort of everlasting love, right? But I do kind of agree that, like Tiger says here in the chat, Sean Payton quit on the team after Drew retired and Mickey let him. I do agree with that. But Payton's going down a Belichickian route right now. No Hall of Fame quarterback. He doesn't appear to be the coach maybe that he once was. Now, maybe that's a bit unfair because they didn't fall off a cliff.
I was about to say the Broncos as a whole were actually better.
They did get better.
It was just the quarterback situation.
They got better. And to be fair, the Saints did not fall off a cliff post Breeze. Did they? No.
Not like
not
Patriots.
like the Patriots did. But there's always, you pointed this out before too, though, Jake. Even Sean Payton in his prime, why do we always think about him as a genius and Mike McCarthy as an idiot when they're basically the exact same coach with McCarthy arguably, well, not arguable, now having more career success than Payton has?
No, it's worth having the argument. Just because you've gotten there doesn't mean that you finished it every time, and that was been something we've talked about with Sean Payton. And you got one Super Bowl title, just like Mike McCarthy has. And there's a lot of coaches that kind of fall into that category of having some success, but only being able to finish it once. So, Sean does have a lot of smartest guy in the room energy, though.
Yes, he definitely puts that out there, and he has a supreme confidence, certainly, and belief in himself. And his players do seem to love him, right? Or at least when he was in his prime. Remember Emmanuel Sanders coming to town and being like, Sean Payton's just different, man. He's just cool. He's got his J's on, blah, blah, blah. Still, how much more time? How much time does Sean Payton get in Denver?
Oh, they're pot committed. See, they gave a first-round pickup. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's getting 5 years minimum.
There you go. Okay.
And that seems crazy to say in the NFL coaching world. But
especially nowadays.
But they, again, though, like Russ didn't work out. But Russ wasn't good before he got there. He wasn't good with him. Russ's last couple of years in Seattle, you could see the dip. The team was better. Like, undoubtedly, they were better from what they were the year before. So now, management sees that. They don't necessarily see, like...
It's fair.
And obviously, Russell Wilson, you're eating a lot of money, and that was an awful situation that you gave up way too much.
It's probably the worst trade of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that is not hyperbole. It is shocking the amount of... Pete Carroll, what a fleece. What a job by Seattle to get all of that out of Denver, secretly hiding the fact that Russ was kind of toxic and the problem the entire time.
The fact that they were able to hide that because...
In like NFL circles, I understand in public circles, but how'd they keep it from...
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, like within circles that I'm a part of in the NFL, like we all knew it.
Yeah.
So how did they not know it? That was the mind-blowing thing to me is like, this has been talked about for a long time.
Yeah, so apparently though, Broncos not doing their due diligence. Who knows? All right, when we get back, hour 3, kicking off with Nick Underhill. Then we got a guy hold the mayo. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. All your AC, heating, and electrical needs. You want to go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge? Go look at the online reviews, guys. They are unreal, okay? And the reason is because kind of their core mission statement is service to the highest degree. And like I tell you today, that ain't just lip service, my friends, okay? That's real talk. Real talk. Real service. And if you need a whole home generator, storm season around the corner, you make sure that you got that peace of mind. Get that free estimate from Accutemp. Again, you go to AccutempBR.com. You can schedule online. You can call them up. And prepare to be blown away in the same way that my wife was the first time we used them. Also, ask about the Star Club membership, where it's just a flat monthly fee and they stay on top of everything for you. Make sure you avoid any catastrophic issues down the road. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like Vans.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 23rd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 78. In hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins us at 9 a.m. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. And right now, it is our pleasure to be joined by the man from New Orleans Football. That is Mr. Nick Underhill. Every single Tuesday comes with the program. I'm a proud subscriber of New Orleans Football, have been for years. If you are into the draft, there is no better place to get all of your Saints intel. Nick, what's going on, brother? How we feeling today? Draft week.
Doing great. How y'all doing?
Have you watched Kevin Costner's Draft Day again yet this week?
I mean, it's unavoidable. So I mean, I've caught it. Terrible movie. But I mean, you got to watch it every year. Kind of gets you in the mood. My thing with it is just like, and I've noticed this about Costner and everything. Like, is he clinically depressed? Like, why is he just always so pissed off, no matter what the role is? Like, he's just the angriest person in the world. If it's Tin Cup, it's Draft Day, it's Yellowstone. Like, the man is just he's just always in a terrible mood. So I like the thing I dislike about the I guess so, man. Like, the thing I dislike about the movie is that it just seems like he absolutely despises being an NFL GM on draft week. And like, I don't know, it feels like that should be a job where you're kind of like excited and you just traded for the first pick in the draft. Like, you should be fired up a little bit. And he's just pissed the whole entire time.
Because he's a man, he's an alpha. I don't want what do you want? You want to be all smiley and bebopping around and skipping around and playing with toys? No, it's a serious business. It's the NFL draft.
Sure.
Nick, so yesterday we basically just took a NewOrleans.com piece and played with it and kind of discussed it on the show. And I want you to expound on it more. And it was where you laid out kind of what could be called the guiding principles of drafting in the Mickey Loomis era, right? And it's about going after your guy and I'm blanking off the top of my head. But the point is, we kind of paired it with the idea that with the cap, you've seen them start to be a bit more future-oriented. Now that they don't have that quarterback anymore, I don't think that drafting strategy will work as much anymore. Do you think the Saints will start to change their tune in the draft the same way that they somewhat started to change it when it comes to managing the salary cap? Be a bit more future-oriented?
Yeah, I think it will be, and it should be at least. I mean, when they're sitting in that room and the clock's winding down, and let's say like Joe Alt somehow gets past Tennessee, like, are they actually going to sit there on their hands and wait? Like, that's what I want to see. Like, when you're actually in the situation, will they actually live by this more patient approach? And we did watch them go through all of free agency. So like, there's an ability there, but in the draft where we've seen them be incredibly aggressive for the better part of 2 decades.
Yeah.
Like, I got to see it to believe it. And like, I do think that they want to be patient. And, I think given the position that they want to draft, I think patience should be kind of easy this year. Like, if you sit at 14, one of these guys is going to fall to you. You can get Fashanu at 14, and in a typical year, like, he's probably the first offensive tackle selected. So if you sit at 14, you're getting a top 10 value if you're drafting that position. So I don't think it should be hard for them to wait. But if Joe Alt slips and the Jets are shopping pick 10 and now he's there, are you going to do it? And that's what I want to see. I don't know, but I think they should be that way. I think in the middle rounds, I think trading up, like getting into the 3rd or 4th to get a tight end that would help the system, maybe package in a couple fifths, maybe sign in a future 4th and a couple fifths, like something like that. I'm okay with. Like, I don't think that damages the long-term outlook of your team. But in that first round, like, I don't think they should move anywhere. And I vehemently disagree with the idea that they should trade back as well. I think if you trade back and now you're losing that top 10 value at 14 and you pick the wrong guy at 22 and you miss and you don't have a left tackle, I think that's a fireable offense. Like, I think that's a horrible mismanagement of your assets. Like, I get the idea of trading back, getting more picks. And, the thought process behind that is great when you're picturing everything as being perfect. Like, you're going to get 3 good players instead of just 2. And, I just think that you're making that pick at 14 where it's obvious at that position where you need the value and you are getting more value than you're drafting for, to fall back into the spot where now you're making a projectable pick, where you're trying to become okay with JC Latham's, scouting report off the field, all that stuff. Like, I think that's where you start to make mistakes. I think they're in a spot where they can't screw this up if they take the best available OT. And if you move out of there, I think that's dangerous. So I wouldn't go that far with it. I just wouldn't make the trade up in the first round, and I would make my pick at 45.
Yeah.
And I would be happy with what kind of falls to me. And, from there you can kind of play the board a little bit if you can. But yeah, I think overall we should see just patience. Like, it doesn't have to be passive, just patience. And I don't want them moving future assets up for this year because, what if they draft another Penning? Like, you are making probably a safe pick at 14, but what if you get another Penning and you can't block and now you're a top 10 team next year? Just don't do it. Just sit where you're at. Make your pick.
Hey, and we've talked about going 14 and 45, going tackle receiver. We've talked about that for the last couple of weeks, and both of those positions in this draft are the deepest positions in this draft. But if it wasn't receiver at 45, because we know there's no certainties in the NFL draft, which position do you think that they'll kind of look at, circle at? Is it receiver, like number 1 still for you? Is it edge rusher? Is it another position? What do you think about 45 right now?
Yeah, I think if 45 isn't a receiver, like I like the idea of like another offensive tackle there. Maybe the other Notre Dame tackle could be someone that could be, possibly value there. I don't know where he's actually supposed to go. I don't know if any of the tight ends you're taking that early. Like, some of those guys, I think like probably the sweet spot for like the right one is probably getting back in the 3rd round, and maybe that's a spot where you go. I mean, I still really like wide receiver there, and I think there's a possibility like somebody falls.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brian Thomas falls out of the first round, but he has a shoulder injury that people are worried about. And I think he's probably late first, early second at this point. So that could be a spot where maybe you could get some value. I like Keon Coleman there as well. And if Brian Thomas falls, maybe Buffalo takes Thomas at 28 and now Coleman has a better chance of falling to 45. Like, maybe some of that stuff plays out that way. But I think you can get, I don't think they can really go wrong at that spot. Like, I think if you go edge, or if you go tackle, or if you go receiver, or if there's a tight end worthy of the pick, which I don't know if they exist, like, there's a lot of spots you can go. Like, they aren't really set kind of anywhere. So I think you can kind of go a lot of different positions. You could even justify a safety pick that early. I think they're okay, but you could definitely add another guy to that mix and kind of develop them. And then that allows you to move Tyron down into the box more on 3rd downs, and you get a little bit more range back there. So I think there's a lot of directions they can go. It would be incredibly boring, but I think the best outcome for them, honestly, like tackle is if they both work and they're both playable, like that's actually a long-term good draft strategy for them. But I like tackle or tackle wide receiver, but I think it has to be tackle at 14.
The only thing for me on tackle, I feel you. It's a bigger win than hitting on both tackle and receiver if you hit. But would you agree with the statement that it's going to be harder to find a second round tackle that would hit than a second round receiver?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Okay.
I mean, I think you're drafting a tackle at 45, like you're praying and hoping for the best. And I guess the counter argument there is if you're praying and hoping for the best, praying hope for the best with penning, like and go out and just sign. I think probably a better. You've just totally talked me off my last statement, but sure, tackle, receiver, Andrus Peat is probably like the way that I would address all those spots, and then you're kind of in a safer spot. I would be shocked if they don't sign someone though, like to shore up that position.
I
bring Andrus back, man.
Yeah, no, they just can't quit each other, dude. They've tried multiple times. They just always come back to one another.
Man's a survivor, yeah.
So, I want to talk about trading future assets because this is another part of the piece from yesterday that I enjoyed so much, which is that and it makes sense when you have a Drew Brees or you have your franchise quarterback, you feel like your window is open, you need assets now, right? And so you engage in some, kind of flat out dumb math where you give up a second rounder in next year for a third rounder this year, right? But because you need a player now. Where's your cutoff for the future rounds that you would be willing to play with or include in packages? I can't remember what the hypothetical was yesterday, Jake, but I think you pushed me into maybe accepting giving up a third, but I couldn't go beyond that. And then you referenced maybe trading a fourth next year, Nick. Where would be your cutoff for future assets that you'd be willing to put up for grabs?
I mean, if I can trade next year's, and I hate the math. I really do. I hate the math. I hate the way it works in the draft. But you would have to trade next year's 3 to get into the 4th. And if I could trade next year's 3 to get into the 4th and get Ben Sinnott, sure, I would probably do that. That would probably be okay with me. The thing is that and look, I'm about to go off onto a weird tangent, so just cut me off whenever. But
go for it.
I think the one thing that bothers me about the Saints is that I think they have longevity in the front office that a lot of people don't have. And there's a safety there. And I think having that safety should allow you to execute a more longer term plan. And if you have the ability to execute a longer term plan, you can take advantage of people that need results right now to protect their jobs. And if I was Mickey Loomis, I would be trading my pick, I would be trying to cash in on my third round pick every year. I would trade my third round pick every year for next year's too. Every single year, that would be my strategy because you could move up around because you have that longevity and you could just build like that. And I know it's not that easy and there's not always going to be that, but they're typically the team making the short-term move. And I got it during the Breeze era, but now that you're outside of it, don't trade your future assets because you lose around on them. It's if I said I will give you $100 today or $500 a year from now on this date, you're going to take the $500 unless 100%. You are desperate. Yeah. Unless your lights are shut off and you need to pay the bill today. I think you're taking the 500. Just take the 500. It's easy money every single time. So, but when you do move up those assets and you get Alvin Kamara, it's a smart decision. So that's kind of the hypocrisy of that whole entire statement is that when it works, it's great. When it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do think you can move your picks up around if you just are willing to wait a little bit to do it.
But you're really onto something at the core idea of Loomis has a job security that nobody else has. He really could afford to operate differently than every other GM should he choose to do so. I've never considered that.
Which creates an advantage. Yeah, absolutely.
Nick, what about, oh, my bad, Jake.
No, I want to ask him, he mentioned tight end real quick, and I know he mentioned the one from Kansas State, who I'm throwing in the fullback category. I know he's listed as a tight end, but we got to try to get any fullback we possibly can, Nick. But what kind of tight end you mentioned for this offense? Because we know they have multiple tight ends, and you have Juwan Johnson, you have Foster Moreau, you have Taysom Hill. I mean, you have guys right now that, veteran players that have, in their career done a lot of things. What kind of tight end do you think they're looking for if they do add one, though?
I mean, I think you just said it. Somebody you can categorize a couple different ways, and he's believable lining up different types of spots. I mean, someone that gives you that formational flexibility. So I think anyone that can go out there and you're kind of looking at him and you're like, what's he going to do here? I think that's kind of the guy. And, I think he's kind of a perfect fit for the Shanahan Kubiak type offense. You start, we're getting kind of deep into the process now, but those are the guys that I think are
Is he like a Juszczyk kind of guy who does line up at fullback, but he certainly can be that, H-back, F, wherever you want to be?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything, you can put him a couple different spots, and he's out there, and then when they're standing in the huddle and you got the guy over on the sideline holding up to 12, maybe it's not actually 12. Yeah. So I think anything that you can do with that where you can move him around, I think just his flexibility kind of makes him sort of perfect. Like, he's somebody that I really like for this team in that role. But if it's not him, I think it's just anyone that's, you aren't just saying well, all he can do is block, all he can do is catch. You got to be good at both. That's kind of what they're lacking, because I think they have the blockers, and you got Juwan who can be the receiver. So someone that just kind of blends things a little bit and can open it up a little bit. And I think that's really kind of what the glory of the 49ers offense is. It's built on that, those couple guys that are those chess pieces. And then you throw Debo in that mix as well. Just people that are just kind of, kind of gives you that little bit of pause when you're out there. What's he going to do here? And, based on down and distance, you aren't necessarily looking at someone and saying, well, it's going to be this route or this route. It could be this route, this route, this motion, maybe it turns into. So I think it's just that little bit of extra second of thinking where you're opening up just possibilities. And I think that's what they can get out of that position. But I think they got to be kind of aggressive about it a little bit to add it to the mix.
Yeah. Nick, last one for me here. You mentioned the Saints needing to be smart about injury risks when it comes to potential draftees. And then there's a line about a Brian Thomas shoulder injury. And then you mentioned maybe some potential slippage earlier in this interview. What is the latest on what you're hearing about Brian Thomas Jr.?
Yeah, I think he has something that's going to sideline him for I think the rumor is he's got something that needs to get repaired. So, I think it's something that after he gets drafted, there's probably going to be a little bit of recovery time. So I think that's something that you got to keep in mind. I don't think it's probably a huge deal, but it's part of the equation. And, if there's a coin flip in a deep receiver class, that can be the kind of thing that kind of makes you go somewhere else, where in a shallow class, you're just kind of yeah, whatever, it's going to take 4 months, so he'll be in the locker room and the meetings, and he'll learn, he'll be ready for camp, it'll be fine. But I think if you can avoid that process, that's something that could factor into thinking. So I think that's going to be part of it. And there's a couple guys at offensive tackle that I think got some injury stuff that, again, it's the same thing where I think you just bypass them and go with the safer player at that time. So at least where the Saints are shopping, there's enough depth to where you don't really have to take those risks. And I think that's the thing that, if we're going to look at previous drafts, if you can avoid just some of those risks, avoid them. Just don't take them right now. If you can bypass it and, do that. So I think that's going to be where it kind of settles. But yeah, I think Thomas said something that could potentially cause him to go from I think we were thinking top 15. I don't think top 15 is going to happen anymore for him.
It's going to be interesting to see when he crosses the threshold of oh, well, now it's so much value to take him despite the injury that you almost have to. So I'll be intrigued to see who pulls the trigger there.
Nick, I think it helps like an Xavier Murray. I think he's probably I think he moves way up. I think there's a handful of guys that are going to move up that people are going to be surprised about a little bit. The Byron Murphy stuff is already kind of flowing out there, but I think there's a handful of guys that we've been talking about in that 20 to 30 range. I think they're probably more 1 to 15. I think there's going to be some surprises on Thursday.
Nick Underhill. Nick_Underhill on Twitter. NewOrleans.football is the site. Again, if you want to read the piece that I'm constantly referencing, it's really good. Saints NFL Draft Manifesto. A new reality demands a whole new approach. Go check it out today. Go sub to the YouTube channel, podcast, everything they got going on over there at NOF headquarters. Nick, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
All right, that is NewOrleans.football. Coming up next, let's hear from Hold the Mayo, fresh off of Dega. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go to All-Star today. Look, man, if you need your car serviced, you get an accident, you need a body shop, go to the All-Star Toyota Service Center. You can schedule online or you can call ahead. They're located on Airline Goodwood. Very easy to get to. Also, all makes and models welcome, okay? So it doesn't have to be a Toyota, okay? And you're talking about having factory parts where they're in sight. You're talking about free professional estimates, excellent lines of communication throughout the entire process. shuttle service to drop you off and pick you back up. Rental cars right there on site. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today to see what they have available when buying new, when leasing, and when renting because, well, it's going to be the same vehicles in all three of those processes. And everything is going to be available, yes, but also multiple options. Multiple trucks, multiple midsize SUVs, sedans, hybrids, you name it, they've got it. Check out the website today, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what happening, y'all? Oh, man. Huge thank you to our next guest, our guy, Dem Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. As Dev, fresh off of legitimately breaking the internet with the most viral video I have ever seen. I'm trying to see how many views. So, I mean, okay, so I mean, Dev, bro, I'm looking at your Twitter right now. Yeah. I just seen the video. I mean, the numbers going on right now are blowing my mind.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. So one, I mean, okay, hold on. What yesterday it was up to 50 mil, wasn't it?
Yeah. I have one
the first one I put up, that's the thing. Like, I can't even just put a video up there and go viral. It had to go, like, beyond viral.
Yes.
So it was a lot, bro. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it turned into, like, not, like, boobs in NASCAR. It turned into, like, something completely different. So I was like, all right, bro, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I was just having a good time. I post the video. I go sleep in my truck, and I wake up the next morning, and, this thing's freaking – I don't have a word to describe it, but –
Well, then it's like, and now you got one. So that one did like 50 million or whatever. You got another one that did $1 million. You got another one that
other accounts got a hold of it, started reposting it, blah blah blah. So
I saw that. I mean, that's how it goes.
I took my original down because, dude, they sex botted it and infested it with race bait and then all kinds of stuff, dude. I didn't know. Oh,
so that's why I can't find it. So you took it down.
Yeah, I took that thing down, bro. Like, I'm not into all that. I don't even need to go viral. If that's what viral is, I'm out.
He's also got one with 5 milli. He's got one with 5 milli right here where he makes some girls dancing on a cooler get off so he can grab some crawfish out of the ice chest to eat. I mean, you got a simple tweet in front of the number 3 with a few 100,000 views. I mean, bro, it's crazy. He's popping off right now.
It's one of those things, man. It was a last-minute decision to go because I went to the Pels game the night before, and it was a last-minute decision. But, dude, when I got the call, something came across my body. I was like, bro, I know if I go out here, like, I'm going to do some damage. I just knew it.
Who'd you go with? I mean, not in terms of names, but was this like you going on your own? Somebody was like, hey, I got this if you want to go. How'd that work?
No, my cousin's been trying to get me to go for like the last 10 years. And they got the setup. I'm talking about 6 gigantic speakers. Like, they are the main party, bro. The stage, the pole, everything. Is over at this one spot. And people just show up, bro. Like, as the night goes on, people just show up. And it was a Saturday night when it really started popping, and it was actually raining its nuts off, and then the rain just stopped. And when the rain stopped, dude, I'm talking about 1,000 people just showed up by the stage. And, bro, you want to talk about Talladega Nights? Like, that movie is fantastic, right? But that movie will never lead you. Like, I could have never fathomed what I was walking into. Never. But it was like being in a different country, bro. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
So, Dev, you've been to, Mardi Gras, you've been to Hogs, you've been to all these different things. Like, where would you put this as far as, like, the ultimate party? Like, would this be at top of your rankings?
Yeah, I think this was the best thing I've done in the last 5-10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. I would tell anybody to go.
Tell your cousin I want to come next year.
Yeah, dude. We all got to go.
Did he bring the crawfish?
Wait, say it again?
Did he bring the crawfish? I saw the video. You're grabbing some crawfish.
Oh yeah. We had the crawfish. We had 2 sacks of crawfish. We were cooking a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the music, bro. The music was everything. And there's really not a country song being played. Not one.
And now Roll Tide Willie's following you. How about that, dude?
Yeah. We're trying to get Roll Tide Willie to drive down here right now to come on the podcast. I told him I'd give him a Pelican ticket and pay for his gas.
Hey, he don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Yeah, I don't care about the Pelicans, bro. So,
but no, man.
Was this your first ever NASCAR event in general?
It's not my first, but, the only time I ever went was Talladega, and I was only 11 years old. Dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, I think I met Kevin Harvick that year, bro. Like, that is not the same as what happened this past weekend. It's like Bonnaroo, bro, but for NASCAR. You just got to experience it.
God, I'm so jealous.
Dude, it's something else, bro. Like the race, bro, I barely remember the race. It wasn't about the race.
Did you get to meet Alvin Kamara?
No, I couldn't find him, but he was definitely there. But I could guarantee he wasn't anywhere I was because he would have got in trouble.
Oh, help me out with this. We were having a debate off air yesterday. The women on the pole, dancers or just regular citizens?
These are regular citizens. These are not like.
I was wrong, Alonzo. Never mind.
like out of the 1,000 people that rolled up, you got to think too. The ratio is obnoxious. You know, you got a ratio of like 90% dudes and then 10% women.
Yeah.
You know, so when a woman even just walks up, you know, it's like everybody sees her, dude. Like it's Talladega, bro. A bunch of dudes, man. You know, it was special
for the boys, dude.
Special, man.
Best thing in the last 10 years. Damn.
I swear, bro.
I wish you could see the FOMO right now on T-Bob's face, Dev. I mean, he hates everything about it.
I mean, the rise of Dev continues to boggle the mind, dude. So many badass guests on the pod. We're pushing 60K on the Twitter followers, millions of views just stacking. The Respect Your Body beers out. Your HCMsports.com/shop for all your merch. My guy is murdering the game.
And that's what I said, man. You know, I don't even get out enough, right? So, like, you put me out of state, you put me in a setting that I'm not familiar with, that's when I thrive, dude. Like, so I was able to do it, and Lord behold, you know, that's what happens. I'm not surprised. I really am not surprised.
Throw my guy in the deep end and let him swim.
Yes.
Devin Snow. Hey, any Saints Pellies thoughts before I let you go? Anything like that?
Oh, I'm going to Nick Underhill's draft party tonight. That's the first thing I'm doing since I've been back. I've been sleeping the last 24 hours.
Yeah, you texted me at 6 a.m. yesterday that you had just gotten back.
Yeah, I just got back. I couldn't sleep another night in the truck at Talladega.
How did you do? How did you manage RB&R Day yesterday then?
Oh, man, it was the most I was hurting ever during RB&R Day. I couldn't even, like, swallow a bite of food. Dude. It was, you know, because, I mean, not only was I sleeping in the truck, but I was sleeping in the truck. I had two of my friends with me. So, one, you know, they were sleeping in the truck, bro. We were sleeping, like, you know, not healthy. It wasn't healthy at all. And then they partied till 5 in the morning. So, they on the mic, on the stage, you know, doing whatever till 5 in the morning.
Damn, dude. Sounds like an incredible time.
I mean, dude, I highly recommend it. And, you know, I think NASCAR should send me something, you know, because I'm telling you, a lot of people from Louisiana are coming next year.
I agree, dude. I agree. Respect your body. Go pick up some HTMsports.com/shop to go get all your merch. You already know where to follow them at Snow Like John. Dev, you're the man. Congratulations on breaking the internet. I'm very jealous of you in more ways than one. I wish I was at Talladega, but here's to hoping we can go one day in the future.
Yeah, let's go next year. Start telling your wives now.
Yes.
That's the key. You know,
that is the key.
Start now. My cousin, him and his old lady, they getting in a fight right now. Over. Love always wins, baby. Love always wins.
Look, my wife's a degenerate. I'll just bring her along with me. You know, that's just going to be the best way to handle that, probably to navigate that.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Dev. Have a great day, brother. You the man.
Appreciate it, Dev.
All right, I'll take care.
Hold the mayo. How about it? Blowing up, dude.
I do love it. He just like get off the ice chest and goes and grabs a handful of crawfish.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this man who so many hated on for so long, quit his job, bet on himself, started doing this stuff, grinds every single day, writing, thinking, being creative, gets better every single day, and he's still ascending. I mean, this is only the beginning. This dude's going to be a superstar before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Legend. Hold the mayo. Devin Snow. Okay. When we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Go to CentralPlumbing.org today if you have any plumbing problems, man. The Payne family's been at it for 50 years, guys. It's 5 decades to take care of your plumbing needs. What does that mean? It means a few things. You can't hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. I don't care if it's an old house, new house, business, residential, whatever. They got you. They have a massive fleet that can service you. They have flat rate pricing. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured, and an excellent warranty coverage once the work is done. So you need your pipes fixed. You need to lace some pipe. You need a new toilet. Whatever the case may be, you want to go to CentralPlumbing.org.
Good to know, T-Bob. Go to CentralPlumbing.org. That is the website. where you can see what they can do
My
for you
wife keeps calling.
in the remodel game.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like, I didn't even think we had any problems, but sure enough, keep showing up at the house. See that truck outside every afternoon, especially when I'm not supposed to be there.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo! Yeah, I agree. Daniel Bassett, Dev's going to be responsible for National Red Bean Day. And Brian's going to be like, hey, guys, it's National Red Bean Day. And it's going to be all because of them snow. Shout out. I wonder if there is a National Red Bean Day already.
Daniel Basham said there is.
Oh, okay.
October 24th.
Great song.
Another really good one. Another banger. Why do I have a headache again? Jeez.
Because we stopped talking about sports.
No.
I mean, she might be onto something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because when we were doing the pure sports talk, I was starting to feel better. Okay, let's try it on a little bit. LSU should sweep Auburn this weekend. I don't feel any better. I mean, okay, so honestly, I was drunkenly trying to run through the math Saturday with a buddy, and I feel like the realistic path here, or not realistic, but the path you'd have to achieve, I feel like you have to go 5-1 between last week and this week. So you went 2-1. 3-0 gets you to 5-1. Let's say you take one off of A&M. So then we're looking at 6-3. And then if you 2-3 the final two series, you end up at that 10-5 mark. That would put you at 13 wins overall and have you right on the edge of going to Hoover. So, like, maybe you could come up with a later season sweep, but that seems hard against who do you have after A&M?
You have
got Alabama.
Alabama on the road, but Ole Miss at home to close it out. There's
sweep potential against Ole Miss at home.
Auburn just got swept by State.
I know. So then talking it out, because you're not going to sweep Alabama. In fact, that's going to be a hard series to win.
Yeah, and that one's on the road.
Yeah. So you have to either sweep, most likely, if you want to hit that 10-5 number, there are a few things you have to do, I think. I think you have to either sweep Auburn or Ole Miss. I think you have to take one off of A&M, unless you could somehow sweep both those teams I just mentioned. And, yeah, you have to find a way to win a series on the road in Tuscaloosa against a pretty good Alabama team.
It ain't going to be easy.
No.
It is not going to be easy.
No. I do feel better, by the way.
Is it easier than it would have been against the teams you played at the beginning? Probably. You had a tough stretch to start your SEC play, but it's not going to be easy. Like, this team found some things there in Como, and we're going to see, was it because of who you were playing, or have you started to figure out who is who, what is what with the team? Because we saw some different things, and we saw a different strategy in the third game of the series as far as your pitching, and Larson continues to extend. Like,
Ashton Larson's so good, dude.
He's ascended into a place where, like, he's one of your most counted bats in your lineup right now.
Is he actually your best SEC average hitter? I'm going to look up some conference-only stats real quick.
I don't know that. I mean, maybe would he qualify as far as
I'm not sure. He didn't last time.
From when he started to put himself into the lineup, yeah, he has to be. Like, it feels like he has to be. And he's moved up and down the lineup. I mean, he's been in different spots, and he's produced.
Yeah, so right now he's played in 14 SEC games, started 10. He's batting .395 in the SEC. And that's with 38 at-bats, so that's not nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Michael Braswell Jr. still at .345. So shout out Brad, still holding it down. And then Tommy White now, remember when we checked on this a couple weeks ago, 260 up to 295. So Tommy almost breaking into 300s.
Tommy.
Hayden's 281. So Travinsky's raised his own average. Jared Jones fallen back from 280 to 269. And then you start to get, and Bingham at 240, Pearson 240, Milam 220, and Paxton Kling 179.
179? Mm-hmm. And that's with a couple of hits over the weekend.
Brady Neal 114.
Ooh.
Even though it seems like Milazzo's got to be the guy there now, right?
Yeah, I mean, because Hayden's going to continue to be a DH, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about Alex, too, like, he doesn't have the pop, obviously, that Brady Neal has, but he's going to give you a competitive AB.
Yeah, ever since last year, by the way, 286 in conference.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to handle the bat, and if there's a guy on third with less than 2 outs, like, I feel better about him driving that runner in.
I agree. And it's kind of what he proved. That's the growth that he proved last season.
Yeah.
Versus, at the beginning of his career where his bat was an absolute disaster. Like, that was maybe the greatest development or reclamation project, whatever you want to call it, of the Jay Johnson era, was getting Milazzo to such a respectable place at the plate. Gulf South, Braswell leads LSU in on-base percentage of conference play. That's why he's still in lineup. Well, yeah, I mean, no, again, he's actually been your best hitter. 345 with 18 starts, 78 at-bats. Or, 55 at-bats. So still, actually, Ashton Larson's 38 at-bats, even just right behind him now at this point. Here's to hoping that they've figured something out and can get it going. The ERAs for conference play are not anything that you want to look at. I mean, this is crazy. Even though we feel like Luke Holman's been so good this year, and he has been in many ways, he's now looking at a 2-3 record in the SEC with a 4.94 ERA.
That is wild. Yeah.
Griffin Herring, 20 innings pitch, 0.87 ERA. Pretty damn good there. Pretty damn good there, Griff. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll have a little extended time for some Ask the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. If you want to beat the heat this summer with a pool, finally, maybe, like you've been saving up, you've been putting it off, or you're like, or whatever. The point is, you're finally, you know what, I want a pool. You want to go to Pinnacle. And the reasons are many. First off, you want a fully custom job, like they can do whatever the hell you need. I mean, in fact, they build entire houses and they are stunning. But these spec pools are great because they're affordable, as financing options available, or you pay for it up front. But you still customize it and make it your own. You choose from a variety of different templates, a bunch of detail work within the templates, and then most importantly, in 2 weeks, you have a pool. Clean up, everything done. In 2 weeks, you have a pool, PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, and that's just not lip service. I've talked to people around town. They're like, there's no way. I promise you there's a way. I saw 2 houses down for me. They've done it for a lot of people. They'll do it for you as well. Trust us when we say that 2-week timeline, PECbuilt.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends.
How many special people change? How many lives are living strange?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide.
Ooh. few weeks ago, I was at a party with a bunch of mainly white crowd, age like 35 to 42. And when I tell you, when Oasis came on.
This song or Wonderwall?
Both.
Okay. This song's better than Wonderwall.
Made the guy play both.
Hot take.
Wait, what did you ask?
I think this song,
What's
Champagne
better, Champagne
Supernova, is better than Wonderwall.
Yeah, this song is.
Yeah.
This song's 1,000% better.
1,000's a little strong, but I think I'm inclined to agree with that.
1,000% better.
But yeah, man. Oh, it felt so good to just belt this drunkenly at the top of your lungs. It's great. Let's do a little Ask the Bench.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet.
Best song to sing at a bar when the entire bar gets involved.
Somebody or Mr. Brightside has to be up there.
That's real white. That's white.
But also
Real young too.
What's the
Not weird. Right
Sweet Caroline's up there.
No,
Like as far
why
as
isn't
people
it?
do
Sweet
it.
Caroline's great.
Benny and the Jets is up there.
Benny and the
Call
Jets?
Baton Rouge. Pour some sugar on me.
Sweet Caroline,
Yeah.
like
No,
that's
no,
like the
what's the
song
one
that,
that I'm thinking of?
Don't
no
Stop
matter your
Believin'.
age,
Yeah, that
demographic, like you know that song.
Yeah. Fair.
Everyone knows that song.
Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing would be.
Don't Stop Believing's up
That's what
there.
I was.
Definitely.
Yeah. Don't Stop Believing is what I was gonna say.
Teenage Dirtbag. For
Oh
some.
my gosh, yes, Teenage Dirtbag.
Savage
It
Garden.
depends on where you're at.
Won't
I
Yeah.
mean,
be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll
like in
be your
Louisiana,
fantasy.
like Boosie comes on, like the entire place could
Yeah.
sing it. Now, if Boosie comes on in Rhode Island, I don't know that they're going to finish the lyrics like we would.
No, so I was telling y'all that my friend
listen to this
Jennifer came into town last week and visited, and I told y'all that she wanted to go to Tigerland like super bad, so we went, and they were playing Boosie, and she had like no idea what the song was, and everybody was dancing. You know how they dance?
No culture.
Yeah.
Ask the Bench. Would you be open to see the Saints go with an all-white uni? White helmet with a black fleur-de-lis outlined with the chrome gold. Don't they already have the all-whites? Haven't they done that before?
They don't do the white helmet though,
No,
right?
they have the gold and then had the new black
I
helmet.
thought Color Rush a few years ago, they straight up had like a White Ranger versus Red Ranger matchup with the Falcons. This was probably like 6-7 years ago.
remember.
I thought it was still with the gold helmet though.
Yeah, it was like the all white, the
I
gold
don't know,
number.
man.
Yeah.
I just remember Matt Ryan was getting smoked that game, like running for his life. And all I
Hey.
could think about was that gif of the Red Ranger running when
Hall
like
of
everything's
Famer Matt
exploding
Ryan.
all around him. Potential Hall of Famer Matt Ryan. Ask the Bench. Summer Olympics coming up. Which event would you want to attend the most?
Swimming.
Okay. You want to expound on that?
I just always loved watching Michael Phelps, so
Okay.
swimming.
I would say any of the track stuff. I mean, like the 200 is still going to be a very exciting race. I love watching the 400. I love watching the 4x1. Any of that.
Oh, yeah. I
Like-
think Saints Color Rush, they still have the gold helmets. You're right. Yeah, I'm with you, Jake. I mean, show me the fastest. I want to see the fastest people in the world race. Give me the 100 meter.
Yeah. Like I have Kenny Powers mentality when I think of Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Fast as.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the man because I can run faster than.
Yeah.
Taylor's like, I used to run the 200 in high school.
It was the 400, wasn't it?
It was.
It was 200 junior year, 400 senior. Yeah.
Chill out, bro.
I actually had a good time there. Give me your 400 time.
It was 56 seconds.
Deceptively athletic. Is that not good?
I mean,
it ain't Olympics good. Those dudes running that in like 42.
The landslide.
Ask the Bench. Have you
I
ever
think
done
with my
a tier
fastest
list
time, I think
of
I
all
was
your
50.
previous tier lists? No.
That's
3?
just way too much.
It's way too much. It's way too hard to rank. Also, unfortunately, I don't think we have all the tier lists saved in any sort of I don't think we have the tier list saved in any sort of like single spot. I think they're kind of lost to time, unfortunately.
Yikes.
I have all the ones we did last summer.
Really?
Yeah, but before that,
Look
no.
at you. Step up,
I
Danny.
mean, we were doing
Where you at, dog?
one a week there for a while.
A long time. Ask Bench, when's the cereal tier list being made? I think we already
We've
made
done
it.
that, yeah. We've done
We
that.
could always revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava Marswani said that's the inception of tier list, and that could be the first one. Bilbo says 43 seconds is the 400 world record.
Yeah, I think the high school record.
Taylor, you're pathetic.
The high school record's like 48 or 49.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people are fast.
Like, I think I got a 52 one time, but now that I'm saying that out loud and the record's 49, I'm like, I don't think you got a 52. It might have been a 53.
Good number. Who do y'all think is going to win the third national championship? Or, excuse me, 53rd national championship
like,
to honor me.
What?
It got to be LSU then. LSU football.
It has to be football for you.
No, I'm saying, like, do you think I'm
Like
that
which
lucky? That'd be
sport
so tight.
at LSU is what you're asking?
Yeah. Like, the next team sport that wins a natty will be the 53rd national championship.
It's got to be football.
And therefore, them and I will be inexorably linked.
I
all
hope
time.
it's football.
Yeah, that'd be super tight.
Gosh, I feel like
They'd
the
have
only
to
one
make
that
a high.
hasn't is
They'd
men's
have to make a
basketball
high
now.
video with you narrating it. Have to.
I don't know. Will the new Cody like T-Bob? We'll
True.
see.
Well, and also, I don't
gets it done, and then it's like
actually know
need a
another
Speedo.
53 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
That's a bad number. Unless T-Bob's wearing it.
Do you even Bill Romanowski? You idiot.
Spit in people's face? No, I'm not into that.
Yeah. I am into that.
Doesn't shock me.
Those turtles yesterday.
Oh, my
Yeah.
Cowabunga. Like cowabung hole.
Okay.
Oh, no.
See,
Nope.
you
Yeah,
had
like,
it perfect.
yeah.
Like you were on the
Yeah.
edge, and it was perfect. It was edgy. It was funny. And then you went a step too far.
Yeah, but bunghole's just so funny.
It is a
It's
funny
such a
word.
stupid word.
Like, no one
Bunghole.
uses that
How many
as an
times did you
insult,
say that?
and they
Like
should.
4th through 6th grade.
Oh,
And didn't even
that's
really
what I'm
know.
saying,
You
like,
didn't even really know
constantly,
what it
dude.
was. I mean, you did, but you didn't.
I still don't know what it is actually. I mean, I know what it's in reference to, but I don't know what bung. Like, I don't understand. Y'all have a great day.
Take that, Murphy, Sam, and Jody.
More TV
Off
tomorrow.
the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, if you want to ignite your career, join the MMR group. That's right. You want to work with the nation's largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire country? Well, I guess it's kind of redundant, nation's largest in the entire country. Well, you can join MMR because they're seeking talented individuals to join the team. For over 3 decades, MMR has been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, but they got offices all over the globe, and they offer a tailored path for both professional and personal development. You couple that with outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture, and whether you're a student seeking an internship, beginning your career, or a seasoned pro, MMR has a variety of positions just for you. So build your future with MMR. Apply now at MMRGRP.com.
You go to that website, you can type in MMR Group into any search engine. It's going to pull that up as well, give you locations, give you a little bit about MMR, also give you the careers that they have available. Again, MMR Group in any search engine, MMRGRP.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.